happy. I hope you are happy. When I long ago you told me you would not succeed. Not like your friends with super wealthy families. Tears in your eyes, you set the bar kinda high. Would do anything to forget your father's goodbye. Guess I didn't fit in that frame of your life, but I hope that you find all that love in your kids and your wife. Now you're playing with the big boys, finally got some big toys. You know your girl's spoiled, daddy's got it all sold. I was never your choice, but I hope you're happy. I hope you are happy. Now you're playing with the big boys, finally got some big toys. You know your girl's spoiled, daddy's got it all sold. I was never your choice, but I hope you're happy. I hope you are happy. This is not my first song about you. Crazy how I'm still thinking about you. This is not my first song about you, about you, about you. I feel like I'm still the same, how about you? And what if we ever meet in our kids' school? And you say you've been thinking of me too. Now you're playing.
Art and guilty pleasure, things that we can measure, take us to the moon.
All right. It's Friday night. What's up, everybody? Had a little holiday thing go on this week. It's just been hectic. I don't know about how everybody else is today, but man, it's been rough out there. It's been rough. Now, I was going to do a chill stream tonight, but Tyler talked me into Nerd Wars. Hopefully, we get some nerds over here to duke it out, debate all of these really, really cool things about sci-fi and fantasy land, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Star Trek. Might even get into Farscape. I like Farscape. Yeah. Farscape. Serenity, Firefly. Yeah. We'll get into it. You know. Was John Crichton an evil man for stealing Moya? Yeah. The nerd runs deep. The nerd runs deep. Yeah. Firefly was an amazing show. Serenity. Great video. Great movie, really. Man, I got to tell you, Thanksgiving is just one of those times where no matter how ready you think you are for it, you ain't. You ain't. So the other night, got all ready to cook Thanksgiving dinner. I got up the next morning. I had a stomach bug. It's terrible. I was up all night. It's terrible. So my son, my 15-year-old son, under my close direction, ended up cooking 90% of the Thanksgiving meal. Now, I call that awesome. That's just awesome as all hell. So, yes, Tom Selleck was a nerd in a very specific way, not his own way. So, yeah. Yeah, I heard it was going around. I know here it was a big thing right around Thanksgiving. It was just terrible. Terrible. I had it, still kind of got it. Takes a couple of days to get over. Hopefully I'm going to make it through the show. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll drop the link here in a few minutes, and for the people who want to come up and do Nerd Wars tonight, do the debate show, we'll do that. I'll see if I can't set up an interview or something cool tomorrow. Maybe we'll just do a chill stream for Saturday, something like that. As always, donate some freaking money. Donate well and donate often, because the donation you send may come back to you in unique ways. So, Thumping Weevil, I feel that. But I got to be honest with you. We did both a turkey and a ham. We did the usual stuffing, sweet potato casserole, green bean casserole. We were going to do mashed potatoes and corn, but when I looked at the amount of food that was out, it was insane. We had dessert. We had an entire table for desserts, and there were only like 5 of us eating. 6, I guess. So it was, we had a lot of food. I think my wife took part of the turkey over to her friend's house this morning just to gift it to them. So, yeah, I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And if you didn't, well, there's always next year, my man. Always next year. I've had some rough Thanksgivings myself, some rough ones. I shudder to think about how rough they truly were. We've got to, so we were supposed to have some debates happen on this channel. I haven't heard from any of those guys in a while. I don't know. Maybe they just decided not to do the debates. Maybe they just decided to do them somewhere else. I don't know. It's all good to me, really. But if you would, hey, what's up, Tyler? What's up, my main man? I'm going to give Tyler, I'm going to throw out Tyler the link. It seems like everybody wants to moderate debates, which is fine. That's totally cool. But if you're looking to have a debate moderated, if you're looking to have things go down in an enjoyable way, my services are available. Oh, that's wrong link. Why did it not? It always does that. The first time I do it, never does it right. There we go. All right, finishing your game and then send out the links. That sounds rad. That sounds cool. But as always, we got a lot of stuff going on out there in the wide world of sports. You know, so yeah, we'll get some people in here, do some debating. I didn't really want to do it. We better get some people in here for debating because I really just wanted to chill tonight in case I had to duck out because, reasons. I still haven't heard from Anson Knowles. I heard that something happened. I'm not really sure what. I'm not sure that the person who said that something terrible happened actually knows that something terrible happened. Maybe she does. I don't know. And yeah, we've got I got a lot of cool stuff we can talk about if we just do a chill stream for sure. For sure. Just chilling and drinking a little. Nothing wrong with that. I don't drink myself. I drink soda and stuff, but I don't drink. A lot of stuff to talk about this coming week, man. People are just off the fucking chain. And this thing that happened with the National Guards person, half the people are blaming Trump because she shouldn't have even been there. Man, that's cold. You know what? You're right that she shouldn't have been there because she should have been at home with her family, but she chose, perhaps out of valor, or a sense of servitude, a sense of grace, sense of responsibility. She chose to stay and let another soldier have the night off with their family. And now she has passed away. It's going to be an interesting time going forward, as if it weren't already interesting enough. Your liver is one of the strongest alive from back when I did have a drinking problem. I stopped at the top of my I'm going to say plateau, but hopefully not Plato. Yeah. But yeah, it's an interesting thing going on out there today. It's going to be an interesting week talking politics. All these people are coming out now and saying that young lady'd be alive if we weren't enforcing our laws. I don't know how they figure that out. That sounds like a lot of alcohol. So it's terrible. If any of you poor souls did, in fact, brave Black Friday today, I feel for you. I had to go to the you'll debate Jason can judge. We might do that. So I went to the Big Opry Hotel, the Gaylord Hotel Convention Center. Bro, so packed. To get off at the Opry Mills Mall which was the next exit, the traffic was backed up 2 lanes for like a mile. It's terrible. And I couldn't believe it, to be honest. Just terrible. Now, of course, this week, next weekend, will be tree decorating. I have a rule in my house that you cannot, there's no Christmas decorations allowed out until after Thanksgiving. It's a hard and fast rule. Black Friday is a scam. Yeah, my wife did all her Black Friday on shopping at midnight last night, I guess. I don't see the point, really. But maybe there's a point to it. If you are in the audience and you have not already, please pay attention to the ticker scrolling across the screen. There is and I don't know that you can actually copy that and or click it and go to it, but there is a contest, the Streamer Awards, and I have been nominated for educational. We're neck and neck with this guy, The Machine Lies. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware who that is, but we can't let him win. He's not educational. He's barely conscious, I think, but he's definitely not he's not educational. And if I win this week, I get put into the overall. So I'll already have the award that I win, but then I'll be put in for the overall. The overall is for Streamer of the Year. Now, I won't get Streamer of the Year. I believe Rob Knorr will probably smack that around handily. But I might get second or third Streamer of the Year, and I'd be okay with that. Be okay. But we gotta keep it real around here. You know, educational shit needs to be educational. So I sent our man, the myth, the legend, debator extraordinaire, Tyler, average debate enjoyer, the link. He'll be up soon. I'll drop the link here in a few minutes so we can get some people coming up. It should be cool. I think it's going to be an awesome night, to be honest with you. I think Indian Jeebus is going to come over, hang out with us, which will also be real cool. You know, got a lot of stuff. You threw it out to a few? All right. I mean, we can just fuck around too tonight. I don't really care. I really wanted to do the debate night tomorrow night because it's just, you know, it's just easier for me tomorrow night. But, and I have been sick. I was sick all day yesterday, man. Like, it was terrible. Just terrible. Back to this this poor hey, we got Jason from Vox Populi 1788. Your camera's not working, sir.
Yeah.
There it is. Look at him. All his glory. No mic though.
You're Tyler.
Well, you're low. You're there, but you're low.
So I hear Tyler needed someone to step in for him on the judgment side. So, because I'm a nerd, but I'm not nerd enough to handle a debate.
We can go tonight. We can definitely have a Nerd Wars night tonight. I don't mind. I'll debate any night of the week. It doesn't have to be a special occasion. We can debate.
Oh, I can debate most things.
Your volume is exceedingly low.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I just turned you up a little bit in the back room, but
yeah, I just turned up my gain as well.
Oh, that's way better. You're talking over your mic. With those Shure mics, man, you've got to be
right on them, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be right there. Yeah. That's why I don't like the Shure mic. I have an M7B and it's okay. But I think it would be awesome if I had a professional studio with like, like $40,000 worth of equipment behind it. I think it'd be really awesome. But I don't, and I'm not going to do it. And so, the reality is that I use the Rode Podcaster and the Samsung
that's a good
Q9B.
mic. So I do vocals. I do a lot of vocal recording and stuff like that with music, and so this is just it. It really, since it's so directional, it prevents a lot of extra noise without having to soundproof proper.
Okay. I mean that makes sense.
But yeah, Tyler was saying he needed someone to take his position, and so
he wants to debate tonight. He likes to debate the Nerd Wars.
Yeah. And I'm here for it. I am more than happy to lend my assistance.
So, but we may not even have 3 judges tonight because I don't know if Cleaner is going to show up. I mean, I didn't put this out there, so it could just be a real casual thing tonight.
Hey, whatever, man, whatever. Look, I am here to support the Mighty Grid 1.
I appreciate that
because I enjoy the content and plan on doing, lots of work with you. So why not go ahead and do it?
Yeah, we've had I have like it's been kind of up and down. I think I'm just not as I mean, right now I don't think that I'm I mean, like tonight I'm still recovering from being sick yesterday, and I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure that I'm not still sick. It's just I've got some meds in me that are keeping me rolling, but but it's okay.
Did you have a good turkey day at least?
Well, I mean, it was good for everybody else, but I was sick all day. I got some kind of stomach. So this is what happened. Wednesday, I get all the food and everything in, and in the morning I went out and I played some simulator golf, which is not like real golf. It's not golf, but it's close.
Yeah.
And so I went and played golf on a simulator, and it's fine. I did all right. Didn't do great because I didn't understand the physics at first, and once I understood the physics, I got into it. And then I met my wife for lunch with a bunch of her friends. Her friend's husband, their kids, a whole group of people. And so we're all having Korean barbecue, and it was really good. And I leave, everything's great, everything's fine. Do the show. Did I do a show Wednesday night? I don't think I did. Yeah, I think I did. I don't remember. Go to bed. Middle of the night, man, I'm up. And I'm like I was up from about 3:30 until about 4:30. Went back to bed I fell asleep sometime around 4:30. Woke up at 6, and just a lot of gas, a lot of bloating. Just and so I thought maybe I got in a touch of food poisoning, or maybe I just had something that didn't agree with me. I didn't think anything about it. Went ahead and fixed all of the Thanksgiving. My son basically he took over because I was just like I wasn't feeling it. So my son actually prepared all of the Thanksgiving food, 90% of it, 95%, and did an awesome job. Takes direction well.
Yeah.
And yesterday I felt okay. Go to bed last night. There's only one position I could sleep in without the gas like hurting my stomach to the point where I was like I had to get up. So I was like, and I never get this way. So I'm like, what is wrong with me? I don't even have antacid or Gas X, I don't even have that in the house because it never happens. And then so I was reading about it. I was reading the News Journal that there's that's the local paper is called the Daily News Journal. I was reading that there's some kind of stomach bug going around, and it's like incredibly contagious, and it's just brutal.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
stomach bug and strep going around right now. So
I've heard about the strep. I hadn't heard about the stomach bug, and I was like, that makes total sense now. That makes total sense because I was out in places I don't normally go. I was around a bunch of people, and I probably picked it up, or my kid brought it home from pre-K, something like that. And I seem to be the worst affected by far. So, and but I'm feeling a lot better. But I just
That's
soon,
good.
it was. I don't remember being sick in a long time, dude. Like a long time.
Yeah, I normally don't get sick all that often, but when it does, it puts me down. Men, we're tough about a lot of things, but when our health, we tend to get a little overly affected. Um, at least that's my case. I'm the biggest baby when I'm sick.
So
But beyond that, I'm all right.
I think I'm on the other side of that. I actually I won't admit that I'm sick.
Oh yeah, no, I'll fight it until I can't fight
And
it anymore.
and
But
I'll just keep going and I just suck it up.
but
And
like I dislocated my shoulder once playing hockey, and I played through it. I dislocated a finger playing football. I just taped it to my other finger and continued to play. But get me sick, and I will lay down once I realize, oh no, I'm sick. Yeah, I will ham it up. That's just who I am, though. But I can take injuries like a mug.
bacon injury.
Yeah.
So Cleaner's not going to make it tonight. He says that has family visiting, and so he won't make it tonight. Totally understandable. Admiral Gibbs is he's watching college football.
Well, yeah, A&M is playing Texas right now,
Yeah,
and
that's what he said.
yeah, and A&M is whipping that ass.
He
Luckily,
said, "Beat the hell out of a Texas university." That's what's going on tonight.
yeah. Anytime Texas lose, I smile, but that's because I'm an OU Sooners grad. I mean, you gotta hate the rival.
Hmm. Yeah, so Gibbs is indisposed for the evening. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Link is out there, guys. I meant to pin it. I'm sorry. I'm not on my game tonight.
Hey, look, we all have our off nights. But look, if you want to do a little bit of debating tonight about things that doesn't matter, which is better? Which is the better side creature? Maybe Ewoks versus I don't know.
That's what we did. We kind of debate a bunch of nerd topics, just like we did the same format as last week's show. But it's like one of my favorites is was the Empire the good guys and the rebels the bad guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, and I'll even go a step further. Darth Vader was the protagonist in every movie. Prequels, sequels, everything.
Mm-hmm. What about how do you feel about if you were to say that Luke Skywalker was brainwashed into being a terrorist for the against the Empire?
Brainwashed? No, I would say it's the follies of youth. If you think about it, when we're young, when we see something that we may see as an injustice, we tend to gravitate towards wanting to defend that.
Yeah,
and look, you never really see old Antifa members, and it's because it is the folly of youth. That's the way I look at it. Not saying that Antifa is right by any means, but it is just the way things are framed, the way they see it. They still haven't figured out the world ain't fair by design. The world is not fair, and it shouldn't be fair. So it's you could see that, and I just believe, honestly, if you go to the sequels, Luke Skywalker admits he made mistakes, he was wrong, and he basically rejected the Jedi Order. He still practiced his religion, but he didn't want to have anything to do with it because he felt like they were in the wrong.
But don't you think that Luke actually went back to the way the Jedi Order was supposed to be, where they were solitary figures that lived on the fringes, that only came into play when they needed to, and only taught people, by choice, and they had a very strict criteria for selection and all of that? Don't you? I would say that's probably closer to the actual truth.
Yeah. There's probably some purity to that, more purity to that than what you see in like the Clone Wars type era, where they had the Jedi Council as part of the government and everything else. I reject a lot of Star Wars lore because a lot of it doesn't make sense to me. I love Star Wars. The first three movies that were actually made. The prequels I'm not a fan of, and the sequels with Darth Emo I don't care for at all. The Disney adaptations of Star Wars is probably the worst iterations.
I don't know. The Mandalorian's pretty good.
Yeah, The Mandalorian's pretty decent. And the Book of Fett isn't terrible.
The Book of Fett is awesome. The Book of Fett, if it had been just a little grainier, so a little more just rough, right? I mean, it almost got there. I mean, I was like,
yeah,
I was when he was when he was with the Sand People, and he was, learning their ways and all of that. I was like, man, this is good.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. It is good. And they actually kept the whole notion of the kind of like Polynesian type person, because if you remember in the original Star Wars, that Boba Fett was just a regular dude. He wasn't like Django, who was kind of like a Polynesian, Australian, New Zealand type.
Well, Boba Fett in the lore and everything else was just a mercenary.
Yeah, he was just
he was nothing special. It's just he was one of the better of the mercenaries.
Yeah, one of the better of the mainly because of his father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Boba Fett learned Arabic?
No.
Oh.
Boba Fett learned Sand Raider, he learned Ewok, he learned Jawa. He learned Jawa like pretty fast.
Yeah, Sand Raider. I think we're speaking the same language here.
Sand Raider. So all right, so and this is a discontinuity in the lore that I find very interesting, right?
Well,
like to create the Darth Vader arc, it kind of puts it kind of puts Anakin in this light of, I'm not really a good guy. I was never a good guy. I never wanted to be a good guy. I just wanted to be, materially wealthy. He wanted to be secure. He wanted to be, he didn't want to be owned by anybody anymore.
well, true.
And it's a really interesting origin background story, because it doesn't really play once it gets into later when he becomes Vader. And I don't disagree with the Thumping Weevil out there that I don't disagree with her that that Anakin was just tortured, and really what he wanted to do at the end was he just wanted to die. Right?
Yeah.
He did. Like what I
But
gave,
here-
I gave
but
my
what people don't
husband
understand is
like,
this.
analogy. I don't know if anybody knows like Warhammer, but I gave like Darth Vader as analogy as like Dante. He just wanted to die. But
Yeah,
the
Commander
anger,
Dante.
the hatred, it consumed him.
Okay,
Yeah.
but this is what we do know from the Darth Plagueis book. Darth Plagueis made it known, like he made an emphasis for Palpatine that Qui-Gon Jinn had to die. Maul had to kill Qui-Gon. The reason why is because Qui-Gon Jinn was the father that Anakin needed. He was the father that Anakin needed.
Yeah, I can see that.
So then when Qui-Gon died, Palpatine stepped in that role as the father figure.
Right, because Obi-Wan couldn't, because he was more like a brother figure. And that's why Anakin never respects, even in the books, he never respects Obi-Wan.
It was like a budding rivalry, like a brotherly rivalry between two brothers. And the problem was that because Qui-Gon had that fixation with the living force, Dooku made that known and said he had that fixation with the living force, and that it was completely different from all the other Jedis. So then when Plagueis was like, okay, no, he needs to die, because if this boy stands in the convergence of the Force, then we need to capitalize on this. And even though Darth Plagueis was terrified of Anakin, Palpatine wasn't.
Yeah, but I think obviously Palpatine was a megalomaniac who thought that he could control everything when he couldn't. Right? Like he look how many times he nearly died. Like he was so close to dying so many times, and only by usually some like divine intervention did he actually manage to continue to live.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that full-heartedly. Is the whole notion that I had to sit there and I actually sit there and studied Palpatine for a little bit, because when I was reading the Darth Plagueis book, you could see how Palpatine was trying to manipulate Plagueis, but Plagueis in success of manipulating Plagueis, but Plagueis, he had that little too trusting of a factor. And
that guy's audio is loud.
Yeah,
it is. bro, stumbled.
What's up, Ancom Psycom?
Yo, how's it going?
It's
Look,
good. It sounds good now.
I will say 10 toes down.
Yep.
That Darth Vader would have never turned to the dark side had they just allowed him to tap that sweet booty.
No.
They would have openly, if they didn't make him hide his relationship, he'd have been completely fine.
I actually didn't understand it. By the way, this is something that bugs me about this, right? So and maybe it's explained in a manual, a book somewhere that I haven't read, but when we see Anakin and the princess meet, Padme. When they meet, he's like 12.
Yeah,
he's like 9.
He was a child. No, he was a child.
He was 9. He was 9. She was 14.
Yeah.
Was she 14? Because she looked like
14
20.
in the Plagueis book. She was 14.
They always make them look like that in the movies, but yeah, the ages were 9 and 14.
Yeah,
okay.
because
that makes a lot more sense, because I was like, damn, dude's got some major game up here.
Yeah. Okay. So how in the Darth Plagueis book, when they discovered Anakin, he was 9 years old. Count Dooku told Palpatine about Anakin. He never knew about Anakin before that. They Plagueis and Sidious felt a convergence of the Force. They felt something in the Force. They just didn't know what it was until Dooku, of all people, said, "Oh, Qui-Gon, he found this boy. It says he's a prophesied chosen one, like 9 years old." And
because there's a strong implication in the third film when Sidious is telling Anakin about Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Yeah.
And specifically, there's a really strong implication that it was either Plagueis or Sidious that caused Anakin to be born.
It was
because
Plagueis.
Shmi did not remember.
It was Plagueis because in the book, immortality.
No, because in the book, Plagueis and Sidious were meditating so deep into the Force that the Force started to run away from Plagueis.
They were searching for immortality. Plagueis' whole thing.
Well, Plagueis mainly was searching for immortality.
Okay, well, so how old was Sidious when he was found and made into
17?
Yeah, so he was even older. Like, nobody wants to train older Jedi, and that's why nobody took Anakin seriously. That's why he was they forced him into the Jedi Order. Like, they forced to be able to train him. And even Sidious himself, like, he was, I was told, or from what, I know, that Sidious himself, he didn't go into the Jedi Order at all. He kind of just went straight into the dark side.
No, babe, look. Plagueis found Sidious at 17. Plagueis manipulated Sidious into killing his own family in the ship. You heard the book. You heard that section.
Mhm.
Sidious never went to the Jedi. Never.
No.
There was never implication because like his father Kusinga didn't understand what was going on. But then when he realized it was the Force, it was far too late.
Well, that's
Now,
what I was saying. Is he never
was
went to
Sidious
But you also have
was Sidious on like the mid or outer rim of the galaxy where he grew up? Because generally speaking,
He grew up in Naboo.
Okay, yeah. See, Naboo is in the inner rim of the galaxy,
Yeah,
so like he should have been tested automatically by the Jedi.
But here's the problem with that: Kusinga was part of the noble class. So the noble the part of the noble class, the Palpatine class, is they're very hush hush and very secretive. So then, if the Jedi Order tried to come in at any point in time, they were like, it didn't work.
Yeah, makes sense.
Now here's the thing too. The Jedi were around Plagueis when he was a kid. They could have picked it up quickly, but they didn't. They didn't pick up Plagueis when he was a kid. But it was Ruchus Gnome or Darth Tenebris, his master, who picked him up. Because Darth Tenebris made Plagueis. Because Plagueis' father was a Force sensitive. A bit Force sensitive. That's what he uses. That's where he got to the treasure of the IBC. And then Tenebris used a consort that was aligned with the dark side to create a forceful being, which is Plagueis. That's how that worked.
Is that why he was able to hide himself so well?
That's why he was able to hide himself so well. And Sidious even more. Sidious was able to hide himself so well, even at infancy, was able to hide himself so well because he always felt that there was something against him and something working for him and working against him. So he always felt like he had to control himself. All the petty crimes, all the accidental deaths, etc., was just a little kind of bleeding through until Plagueis literally took it out of him and made Sidious. I'm all for the Star Wars smoke. I'm all for it. I love it.
Yeah, see, I don't know all that backstory.
See, I recently got into Star Wars myself, and I fell in love. So I'm learning as I go, but there's still a lot that I understand.
Oh, everybody!
I'm guessing a lot of the shit that you were talking about just there was like novels and stuff.
Yeah, this is all novels and backstories, dude. Like, if we just go by the films, we're missing a lot.
Yeah.
And just a side note, tomorrow is Thumping and I's first year anniversary, so yay!
Nice, congrats!
A first wedding anniversary.
Awesome. See, I told you he wasn't gay.
Maybe a little still. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out.
Just trying to figure it out. Well, I mean, hey,
But see, if
we
we're
live in
going
its own
to talk about Anakin, we have to talk about other Siths because after Order 66 and after the destruction of the Jedi and the fall of the Republic, Sidious took Anakin, which is now Darth Vader, into Korriban. Sidious basically told Darth Vader to walk around Korriban. He went to the tombs of the Dark Lords. And what happened was he ended up in a weird kind of manifestation of the Force, ended up back in Coruscant in the Jedi Temple. And he sees a figure looking at scrolls and books and data crons, and data pads. And he's like, "Hey, who are you?" Dude turns around. It was Darth Bane. The manifestation of the dark side brought out Darth Bane to Sidious. I mean, not to Sidious, to Vader. To Vader. And basically Bane told Vader, "You're the product of my efforts. You're still a boy that's afraid of the sand."
He always hated the sand.
He always hated the sand. So, but the problem was this: Bane, even though the combination of the imperative, the rule of two, the destruction of the Jedi Order was fulfilled, Bane still wasn't satisfied because he felt that Vader was too weak for it.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up being proven right.
He seemed to be proven right because then Malgus showed up. Then Darth Malgus showed up out of nowhere. He said, "Oh, you think you're the first to ever slaughter Jedi? Pfft, I slaughtered Jedi. I don't give a fuck."
Yeah.
But Vader made the point to Bane, saying, "Look, you may be the first, but I am the last," and that's that. And then
I mean, in the end, Vader kind of was just a pawn at that point. He was just a pawn in their.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that was all. Anakin was always just a pawn.
Yeah, he was, and that's what Anakin doesn't understand. Is like that's what Darth Vader never understood as well. Is that in the end,
well,
he
when
was
he
a pawn,
died,
and he thought he was higher. Like it was like that hatred. Like it drove him.
Well,
mad.
you have to remember the rule of two is one embodying the power, the other to crave it. Sidious always embodied the power of the dark side.
And he craved, and Darth, I
He
know,
didn't crave it as much as he's supposed to. He didn't crave it as much as he's supposed to. The only time he truly craved it when he was training Galen Malik. That's the only time he truly craved the Dark Lord. But it just didn't happen. I could keep going.
So, Gridge, you said you had a lot of topics for a chill panel. Is one of those these Somali funds that I brought up the other day that the guy that was doing that stole that $7 million from Medicaid, gave a bunch to Somali terrorists?
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
A judge let him go.
Wait, what?
Oh, you didn't hear that part? A judge let him go. Yeah.
I think I did hear that part, but I honestly thought that was a joke.
No, he's a sweet, innocent baby angel. The reason he stole that $7 million in Medicaid was to feed his family. It's actually root causes that cause crime. And if you go against non-people of color, then you're racist. So.
Wow. I
What's up, Emmett? How are you? Good to see you. It's been a while since I've seen it. We're not talking about the politics of the galaxy. We just got stuck on it for a minute. It's interesting right now. It's an interesting time. So that's crazy. Just don't worry about it. Let him go. It's fine. Cool. I wish that that's
I've been listening to a lot of Lovecraft lately. And I'm in fucking like miles and miles, oceans deep into Lovecraft. Excuse me.
What was that cat's name again?
What's that?
The Lovecraft cat. What was that cat's name again?
What was that cat's name?
Never mind.
No, if you know, you know. Like.
Oh wait, yeah, I know that cat's name. Yeah.
Yeah, Lovecraft had a fun time naming that cat. I'm sure.
It's TOS. We can't.
Oh, extremely.
Yeah, I guess if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Like he was weird. He was weird.
Yeah. So, what do you? I mean, I know that this is not, this isn't sci-fi related. But what do you think about the shooting at the Capitol?
Okay, that's just, man. I feel bad for those soldiers. They're brand new fucking privates too. Brand fucking new, straight out of fucking basic. Those poor privates, like, yeah.
Well, the girl apparently was supposed to have been home, but she stayed to let another soldier go home.
Yeah, and you know what? I commend her for that, because I did that. Whenever the holidays came around, I let the soldiers go home. I didn't go home. I was in a whole other place, whole other state. And I was like, hey, look, no, take this and let the soldiers go home and see their families. I'm fine. I'll work, whatever. I don't care.
At first, I heard it was radical Islam, but then after looking into it, this was an Afghani that was working with the U.S. government and came over because he was fully vetted and everything. And it seems like he just snapped.
But remember though, dude, that they will lay and wait for years and years and years and years until the right time to strike. That's their game.
That's anyone's game if they're smart.
Yeah, but I just don't think there's any evidence that he is doing that. It looks like he lost his mind, lost his marbles.
To be entirely fair, like if that was going to be the motive for this, he went small. like way too small.
It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. One.
No. All I'm saying is that that as a motive for what he did doesn't make a lot of sense, because if that was his motive, then it seems like he would have gone for a bigger target than shooting 2 National Guard officers. Or
he gets to Muslim
privates.
heaven, and they're like, "You get like 6 virgins for that, bro. That's it." Like, come
Oh, ow.
Jokes on them. There's no such thing as Muslim heaven, because they're all fucking pagans and they're going to hell.
on.
Hope they
No,
boil in excrement.
listen to what God
Every
said
last
about
one of them.
respecting the Abrahamic religions in the Bible. Okay.
It's not an Abrahamic religion. It's a pagan religion.
Yeah, aren't they?
What? Yeah, okay. You two guys.
No,
later.
they base the origin of their faith on Abraham. So
Well, so
You ever heard this conspiracy theory?
Muhammad tried to be a Jewish prophet, and he failed because he couldn't do what every 12 and 13-year-old Jewish boy and girl could do, and that's read the Torah. Okay, so that's why Islam was created. It was created because he couldn't cut it as a Jew.
So I actually had, there was a myth, I'm sure it's a myth or a fairy tale or whatever you want to call it. A conspiracy theory, if you will, floated around about 4 years ago, that the Catholic Church had actually authored the Quran and given it to these prophets to sow dissent between especially with the Jewish. So
I mean, it's a possibility because of the time frame when Islam was created. That was
it is. I mean, like if you like look at it like really squint really hard and look, it's like that's a conspiracy theory I could buy into.
But the Catholics were so European frickin' pilled that I don't think they could have written the Quran.
But this was
this was like 500 AD, so they hadn't really they were still very much in their Greco-Roman phase rather than their European phase.
Yeah, I agree with it. Yeah, that's why it's so plausible. Is that it was apparently there's a entire theory that the Catholic Church actually wrote the Quran and gave it to the prophets and made it as a tool to be used against other religions, especially the Jewish and the pagans. So, because it's based in Christianity. So, very fun. I mean, I don't believe that. I think it's been debunked, but it was all the rage for a while. And the timeline works. Like when you again, you look at it and you squint really hard. You're like, it could be, could have happened.
Like there's enough plausibility to the initial claim that you're like, okay, like this merits further looking into it.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Like.
Okay, hold on. I know this is off topic too, but I want to ask a question. Okay.
There's no topic.
Okay. Do y'all prefer like cookies in the fridge, cold, or out in the kitchen table?
I mean, I prefer cookies as close to out of the oven as possible.
No. So I like to eat cookies cold. Like I put them in the fridge for like a few hours and I eat them cold, like Oreos and shit. Like,
I can see that for Oreos, but if we're talking like a chocolate chip cookie, no, I want that shit warm and gooey,
like right out of the oven.
Yeah,
like might burn my tongue.
No, because
almost certainly will burn my tongue, and it will be worth the pain.
Yeah, that like I feel like brownies. Like people like to wait for brownies.
Somebody in this panel thinks I'm a weirdo. Somebody in this panel thinks I'm a weirdo for liking cold cookies.
You are a weirdo, but probably not for that.
I don't think you're a weirdo, right? I let people have whatever opinions they want when it comes to things like taste. I don't agree, though. I do agree with like frozen Oreos. That shit's some good shit.
Babe.
But like, yeah, if we're talking brownies or chocolate chip, really any cookie besides a sandwich cookie.
Me, myself, when it comes to like bakery products, like I like room temperature, like warm or room temperature, like cake, cookies, brownies, whatever. But like when they get
Cheesecake
cold,
belongs in the fridge.
it's different. It's different when those kind of desserts get cold. Like it has to be room temperature
Good
or
cold.
warm.
It tastes good cold.
Yeah, that's all weird. Hey,
But-
listen, we got a random stolen dad joke here. If I ever owned a sailboat, I would name it the CCCCCCC. That way, I could say I sailed the 7 seas. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I like it. I like it. That's awesome.
And you're wearing your dad shirt, so that's great.
I did wear my dad shirt today. I was out with my kids. We went and did the circus today.
We took the
great.
kids
I
to
wanted-
the arcade today, and they had a blast.
Yeah, we took them to game time.
You wanted to ask?
What your thought is on the new Glock V?
It's already got a switch, baby. Like nothing changed.
Nothing changed. Nothing changed.
It took those guys like 3 hours and a couple of cans of beer, and they got that. You can't stop a redneck. You just can't. You just can't stop a redneck. They've been trying to do that for years. They keep putting all this anti-tamper emission stuff on cars, and the rednecks keep figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
Drive down here, there's open pipes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
They don't care if they get 8 miles a gallon.
Rednecks are masters of engineering, and no one can recognize it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll just say switches on a pistol is stupid, but hey, if you want it, I think you should have it.
Yep.
I do that. So here's the thing. Full auto in general is stupid.
Yes.
It's fun for the first
10
few
seconds.
seconds, and then you realize you got to reload all those damn mags.
Oh yeah.
And
Not
then
to
you realize
mention
you gotta pay for all that ammo you just went.
Yeah, not to mention all the fucking shoulder.
Oh no, it doesn't feel it. You don't feel it.
Yeah, you
Oh,
don't even feel it. Like let's take it for example, like a 240 Bravo, right? That 240 Bravo, you barely feel that whenever you're firing it.
It's
Have
the
you ever
worst.
When
fired
you're
one?
firing, is
Have
it
you ever
like?
fired
But
one?
does it leave an after effect? Is what I'm curious about. Because like,
Because,
sure, you won't feel it in the moment.
240 gunner. I was a
This is-
240 gunner.
Okay.
And to say that you don't feel it, you've never fired one.
Yeah.
I fired 240 all day. I fired 240 while I was back in the Army.
Well, so I get where both these guys come from. So it's not with full auto, especially with like a mid-sized cartridge like 5.56, 6.8, 300 blackout, pistol caliber like 9mm is like not even like who cares. The reciprocating action of the bolt cancels out a lot of the recoil because the cyclic rate is so fast, right? So you don't get a push and it'll climb on you. Now you'll get muzzle climb,
Yeah, you get.
but that's not because of the recoil in and of itself. But an M240, I never thought it had a lot of recoil.
I'm not saying it has a lot of recoil, but it's not a weapon that you're going to stay on target standing. It is.
Yeah. You're just not going.
No,
to
no,
even on the prone, even the pro position, you're not even going to stand that because
No.
you got to get that sight picture, and it goes off sight picture all the time.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, hell, if you bang enough with an AR-15, you're actually still going to feel it at the end of the day a little bit. It's not going to be like detrimental, but
Frankie, the last time I shot like something that actually, because I haven't shot a lot of guns myself, but when I was with Frankie last, we brought out our 308, and I think I shot that 5 times. And
I love 308.
like the 308, it left a little something on my shoulder, just because I've never shot it beforehand until this day, and after the 5th time,
It was the Smith & Wesson M&P 10.
So that shouldn't give too much recoil. But here's the thing. So a lot of it has to do with the weight of the gun as well.
Yeah,
Most 240s are heavy as fuck. Some 240s are light as fuck. I would not want to shoot the light ones. I understand why they make the light ones, because they have to put them on things that where every pound counts, or they have to be slogged forever and ever by hand. I mean, I understand the reason why it exists. I wouldn't want. I mean, if I were going to fire one, I would take one with the barrel weight and everything. Like, why would you not want that? That just makes sense. But with 308, and I have a love-hate relationship with 308. I really like it as a concept, and I really like the 308 guns I have for the most part. But I used to have a Ruger America with the plastic stock, the composite stock, and I'm telling you, the butt stock end of that thing was as narrow as this phone, and it would separate your shoulder. I used to bet people they would not fire 10 rounds in succession with that gun.
Yeah.
Because it just hurt so bad. And I don't care what you did. I don't care how much you locked it into the shoulder. I don't care. It doesn't matter. The whole gun weighed like 6 pounds, which is stupid light for a 308.
Yeah, that's stupid light. So I'm a bit of nostalgic too. I'm a bit of nostalgic when it comes to 308. I always wanted, because now they're just hard to fucking find. If I even find one, the prices would be outrageous. The Remington 7600 308s, the pump action 308.
I think they still make them. They just don't make a lot of them.
They don't make a lot of them, and like the price would probably be astronomical, like $25,000-$3,000 for just one of those. And maybe one day I'll probably give me a Springfield MA1. Maybe one day. That's another $3,000 gun.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna go with the MA1 though, you need to go with the 30-06. I mean,
okay, this actually brings up a question that I've been wondering for a while. Why are there so many different calibers hovering in the 30-something range? You got the 308, the 30-06, the 30-30. Those are the ones.
30 caliber is like a really popular round and has been for a couple of hundred years now.
Yeah,
well, 100 years. And like this right here, I'm not going to touch it. Both of those are 30 caliber. The one on top is a 300 Winchester short mag. I literally hit targets with that, man-sized targets out to 1,600 yards, a mile.
Yeah, but I guess my question is, like, why is 30 caliber not sufficient? Why did they have to break off into these other, very slightly different
applications, especially applications, really? I mean, all these rounds are designed primarily with hunting in mind. And so when you're looking at your 30 calibers, they're great for basically hunting. They're amazing for hunting. What is war? War is nothing but hunting humans.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, yes, there's more to it than just, we're trying to kill, people, but at the end of the day, you are literally just hunting your fellow human and taking them off the battlefield. You want something with a large enough kinetic transfer in order to end the life of whatever it is you're shooting with as minimal ammunition as possible.
Yep.
Well, I mean, 30 caliber is just a really ballistically, it used to be about the best you could get. And then we got into 6mm and 6.5. 6mm is awesome. But 6.5mm, for whatever reason, ballistically is it. Is it. Like if you look at the most popular caliber for long range precision rifles right now is 6.5. It'll be 6.5 Lapua. It'll be some form of 6.5.
Yeah. Well, like I don't have all those other rounds. I mainly just keep the traditional commonality rounds of the 9mm, the 22, the 12 gauge, the 5.56 and the 308.
What do you want to say there, Tyler?
I was just wondering if I could bring up a subject that the guys comfortable with their dick size would also appreciate.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Did anyone check out Derek Chauvin's recent appeal that just went to the judge? What are the success or fail rates on that, do you think?
They're not going to let him.
The judge already accepted it. They're letting
well, the judge will accept it, but I'm telling you, at the end of the day, they're not going to allow it to do anything. And the reason why is because it was purely a political deal. And if they actually allow it to be overturned, they will have to admit that was a political prosecution. And that would damage the U.S. justice system immensely.
I don't think so. I think leaving it in place and not letting if it's as wrong as you say and he was incorrectly convicted, leaving it in place is a stain on the system, in my opinion. And having the appeals court do exactly what they do.
I understand that, but
justice system
me and you are politically activated. We're actually paying attention to this stuff where the majority of people don't. You've got to think about it from a normie perspective. You've got to stop looking at it from, well, I think this and I'm highly engaged in this stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
The majority of people are headline readers.
Well, I'm asking people that are highly engaged in this stuff, like, did anyone check out the appeal, what their claims are, things like that? How much of a chance do you think they legitimately have in front of? And you're saying,
hey, it's Indian Jesus.
I don't know if some of the claims are true, which I don't know if they are. Apparently, one of the claims is the medical examiner, the young man that testified in the trial, that was his first year being a doctor. He was actually like the apprentice of another doctor who said straight up, like, there's no proof of asphyxiation. So they didn't put that judge on the stand or that doctor on the stand. They instead took the assistant, who was a brand new doctor, and said, I didn't see any proof of asphyxiation. If we found him in his apartment, we would have said it was fentanyl. But since I saw the video, that to me justifies the asphyxiation claim. And they're saying that was misleading. I don't know how true that is. I don't know any of these people's credentials, but that's in the claim.
Yeah. Fair enough. I think he should. I personally think he'll probably, they'll be very quiet about it. They'll drag it out for a long time. And then the next thing you know, it'll be decided and gone. And that's it. That's the end of it. So
yeah, I just don't think the activist will allow it to garner any real traction. I mean, the impact, the judge that accepted it is not going to be the trial judge, more than likely. So it's going to go into the pile, and you're going to get a Boasberg, or you're going to get another one of these activist fucking judges that are just going to say, no, we can't do this. Because
I think at this point it goes in front of an appeals court. I think this is an appeals panel of judges.
But the trial judge for the appeals will not be a panel. That the trial will be with one judge presiding, and then the panel will go and sit down. So your judge can still manipulate, and I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not a lawyer or anything like that, but I don't have faith in. I believe that the bureaucracy will do what it can to protect itself and its legitimacy.
I mean, I in a way, I don't disagree with you, but at the same time, I kind of do disagree with you, because I think that they can't hide. I mean, the problem is they can't hide the evidence forever. The cat is out of the bag, right? Like
the Kennedy assassination would like to talk to you. They did that.
The problem is that they didn't have 30,000 people with video cameras, and they didn't have all of the evidence, which they've already admitted to having. If I would actually agree with you if they didn't have all of the evidence that they have. The fact that they have all of the evidence that they have, the fact that they have the medical examiners who have said that, yeah, we don't like the way this went, but it's
57 officers right now from the Minnesota Police Department have all signed sworn declarations saying that they were taught that specific knee hold to the neck and back in training, and the testimony given in trial was not true.
Right, and the medical examiner that dissented to begin with originally said that, that they knew what they were supposed to say when they came onto the stand. Like, they knew that there was no dissenting opinion. They weren't there for the truth. They were there for an agenda. Yeah. And I would 100% agree with anyone who said, well, those sons of bitches need to be strung up. I would agree with that. 100%. I think that it's a dirty ass thing that they did. They lied in court on record. and getting them to go back on that is going to be rough, right? But I do think at some point it's all gonna come out, especially since they've got the pressure off, and it's going to quietly go away. I mean, it's going to quietly be that and he'll get out, and he'll be in his condition of his release is he can't talk about any of this. He can't go on a media tour or any shit like that, and he'll end up living in like an outer Mongolia or something somewhere.
So you're basically saying they won't overturn the conviction, but they may grant clemency or something along those lines. I
don't know. If they overturn the conviction,
they can't do anything to stop him.
Right.
I don't have something to hold over his head. So
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, because then we can't tell him like the NDA. Maybe you got a 5-year NDA. Then he goes out and writes a book and sells the gun he killed whoever. Well, that was Trayvon Martin, but that's what.
Yeah, they might do clemency. They could do that.
I don't
they
think.
Could do a pardon from the governor or some shit like that.
Yeah, I don't think Tim Walz would do that.
Jason thinks nothing's going to happen because it's political, and overturning it would admit that it was political, and you think it's going to happen, but it's going to happen on the DL. They're going to try to hide it from the media. No one's going to talk about it. It's going to disappear. Anyone else? Let's get it on the record. Do you think Chauvin's getting out?
I mean, I think he has a good shot.
Indian Jesus, let's go, man. You're muted, buddy.
I think there's a good shot.
Right, you're still muted. You got to fix your mic in this app. Happy birthday!
I'm gonna jump off of here for a minute, Grid.
Okay.
I'll probably be back. So
we're obviously just fucking around. That's all right.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
I'll be back here in a second, so it'd be cool.
All right, bye, you guys, for now.
Bye. Let's see. I can get this up.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off too, so I'm gonna see what the wife's up to. So I will see you guys later.
All right, man. Well, I was going to show a video of the range day that we did from.
All right, let's see it. Hold on, I'm all now. I want to see it.
From my event, this is when we all went to the range with the Gorillapus and everybody.
I do like the footwork.
That's all you get for $1.
I do like that sexy walk.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right. I will see you guys later.
All right. We'll be around more than likely. How are you, Indian Jeebus? Your mic is not working again. His was working. I heard him.
He does have a good voice. I mean.
I can't hear you. I can hear everybody else. Can't hear you.
They say Jesus saves, but apparently he doesn't mix.
Yeah.
Audio mixer joking.
Yeah. I got you.
I thought you were going for race mixing.
Oh, no. Oh, wow. I still can't hear you. Check. What did you do? It was fine. We heard you. Did you mute? Do you have a mute button on your mic? No. Okay. Dip out and come back. There you go. How many times does Trump load his dipes a day? I don't know. Not those two. You've drank too much today.
I mean, he's getting to that age where he might actually have to,
Look, if he does, I just find it interesting, all the obsession with things in Donald Trump's pants.
That is interesting. I'm going to agree with you on that.
Look, I agree. Trump is old and everything else, but if all you have
mic check.
Yes,
it works.
There you go.
It was on the wrong setting. My bad.
Whoops.
Yeah, if all you have is Trump has a tiny wiener and he poops it all the time, you really got to find something more legitimate to critique.
And there's plenty there.
Yeah, obviously.
Plenty there, but
Yeah,
that's not on the list.
when people went too hard against Joe Biden's age, it built sympathy for him with me personally. So, like, if you're going to go after Trump for getting old, I watched that happen to my grandpa. It's like you're just soliciting sympathy in me, making me think of my old grandpa who was dying. It's like, oh, that poor guy.
Well,
like,
I call Biden the potatoes. I mean, I openly said he wasn't actually the president, and what was going on was a form of elder abuse.
Joe Biden was elder abuse for sure. 100%.
Yes.
I mean, nobody can deny it. Or if somebody denies that, they're a special kind of evil.
Well, I mean, yes, but it was a means to an end in their opinion. So
I'm sure that they had something going on there.
A lot of people are not happy with how we're going to approach the next general election. Because, I mean, yeah, the Democrats are in a bad spot, but with the way that Trump is burning bridges and so on and so forth, I don't know if we're in such a great position. Well, I mean, we had MTG, we had the Epstein stuff, the Iran stuff. A lot of people are not happy. I think he's ahead
on the Epstein stuff. I think he's the only one that's going to come out of this unscathed on Epstein stuff.
Okay, maybe that's a possibility. I'm saying
every single time they ask for more, it exonerates him more and more and more.
But in general, his attitude was we were like, oh, why do you care about this? After running on, we're going to drain this.
But he didn't run on that.
What do you mean he didn't run on that?
He only mentioned it one time.
Yeah,
and that was in answer to a question.
And he actually said, "We're going to look at it." And
we're going to look at it. I mean, it's still there for some reason. They had 4 years.
So what was the point? What was the point of Cash Patel and Dan Bongino being put in their positions?
Supposedly to reform the FBI.
Yes, because for 4 years the FBI had nothing to do with Epstein. Bro, let me.
Yeah, do you know who Cash Patel is?
Let me help you out something here. The whole reason that
about Russiagate the
whole reason that they put Patel and Bongino in there was because of the 4 years at 4+ years that the FBI was weaponized against Trump to basically investigate his every move and try and prove things that didn't exist. And Trump told them plainly multiple times that if I'm elected, we're cleaning house at the FBI. And now, has he really done it? Not really. Not effectively, right? I mean, they fired some people, but, not enough. In my opinion, they need to gut the FBI and start rehiring. Maybe try Princeton instead of Yale this time.
You can't do that because look at what happened with defund the police. Once they fired all those cops, getting them back has never happened.
I don't want it. I mean, just replace them with, different.
Sorry, and I cut you off.
Well,
you guys don't care about that Epstein stuff, really?
No, I actually do. I think it needs to come out. I think it needs to come out fully redacted.
So the only reason I care about Epstein at all is for how bad it's going to look for Democrats.
Well,
I want them screaming for it. I want them screaming for it because I know every single time that we have evidence come out, every dump of data they have, every single thing, it's always there's two people that it affects every single time. Democrats and people in the UK, and that's it. And every single time they do a data dump, it shows Trump in a better and better light every single time.
But then, why do you think he would be why do you even if he personally didn't promise this, he was definitely pro? Epstein, we don't like him, and all that, and a lot of the base was certainly focused on Epstein. Didn't Epstein himself, all that kind of stuff.
I don't think anybody on the right cared about it.
We run in different circles, saying, "God damn!" I think that was at the top of the list of most of the people that I know.
So, I'll tell you, I want that stuff because I want to know what our government is involved with.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, in the grand scheme of things, we have a woman sitting in prison who is supposedly guilty of trafficking children to nobody. Either produce the list of who all she did that for, or you release the woman who was convicted of doing the not crime.
Trafficked to Jeffrey Epstein, didn't she?
Well, so they really don't even say
Supposedly
that.
Not.
So
that's exactly what she was convicted for, wasn't it? It was giving young girls.
No, she got convicted for
For trafficking.
They changed it at the last minute. It wasn't pandering. It was I don't think it was trafficking.
Facilitation.
Facilitation. I think. Yeah. That sounds right.
But the deal is, if she facilitated trafficking of children, cool. To whom? Because Jeffrey Epstein is not listed, and that's where I have the problem. Look, I think she is guilty of doing something bad, mischievous, and otherwise. I have no problem saying that. But what I want to know is, and it's the same issue that that we had with the Trump conviction on the business practices. He could be guilty. He could be guilty on a felony, but we're not going to name the crime. Okay, that is un-American. Okay, if someone is convicted of a crime, name the fucking crime, show the evidence. And so I have a problem with vague convictions.
I think I'm in that kind of that same boat, right? Like the only reason I care anything about Epstein is I just want to know. I just want the answers, right? And that's only. But I don't care. But in the grand scheme of things, they don't affect me. They don't affect a single thing politically. They don't affect where I vote. They don't affect who I vote for. Really,
Well,
other
how
than
could
that,
you know that without knowing who is? I know there's no list, but just colloquially speaking, how do you know that without knowing who's on the list?
I think there is a list.
And just real quick, just to be clear, I'm not disillusioned that we released the list and then a bunch of high-powered people are going to be charged and the world is going to be I get that, but I think on principle, this is information that we need to know.
I don't trying to be downplaying it, but why? All right, so here's the thing: if it's just a bunch of billionaires and people in power that you can't touch, that'll never spend a day in jail, all it does is distract from real issues like the Russia-Ukraine war is still not over. Zelensky is still committing war crimes every single day. Zelensky's still being a criminal every single day. Don't hear a damn word about him anymore.
So I don't care about that.
Because everybody's focused on Epstein, who's dead, and it doesn't matter.
No, he's not. He's alive.
Okay.
He's back on his island.
Hold on. So
he's the conspiracy guy.
And that's why I think Trump switched up. There's no question that something happened.
Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted of 5 crimes. It was conspiracy and enticing, conspiracy and transport, and then the 5th one was sexual trafficking of minors. That was the big one that got her 40 years. Okay. All the 5 of the targets were Jeffrey Epstein, who she was trafficking and conspiring to traffic for in all 5 of her cases, or all 5 of her charges. So it wasn't vague. It was pretty clear that she was actually trafficking minors across state lines. That's why it was a federal charge.
Well, there you go.
So I just a lot of the Epstein
but wasn't that from back in 03 though? Wasn't it a really old? It was all old stuff.
It may have been, but at the end of the day, most of the Jeffrey Epstein shit is bullshit. There's actually 0 ties to Mossad. That comes from one guy's book. That comes from Jeffrey Epstein apparently saying this
shots fired from the chat.
Saying this while drunk to his ex-girlfriend, and then he also hung out with a former prime minister. Most of this is hobnobbing. Rich people hobnobbing, that all rich people do. I don't think anyone that's sane believes Oprah was going there during lunchtime to sacrifice babies on Epstein Island. She's probably just having lunch with Jeffrey Epstein when she says. So, BB
and either one is fine with you.
Yeah, Jake, again, we went over this in 2024. The Biden administration did an investigation into Israel's actions and all the goods that we sold them and found 0 proof of war crimes. So I brought that up in the debate, and the only thing I got back was no investigations. So, I mean, you're going to have to deal with that one before you throw that out at me.
Epstein's definitely wow, we got some conspiracy theorists out here. I like it. So, I
do.
But
no. Wait a minute, Grid. Hold on. You're telling me that you just believe everything that the establishment tells you?
No, I just don't believe everything's a conspiracy. I think that the deeper you fall into a conspiracy mindset, the more you are trying to convince yourself of something. And I just look at the facts and I read the things as they are presented, and then I don't try and see. It's when you try and see these deeper meanings and all of these like threads between threads. That's when you start getting lost in the sauce, and then you lose sight of the reality. Like most people have lost sight of the reality that, all of the nonsense that we're dealing with this stupid Epstein investigation has pulled us away from the true things that we need to be talking about, like the Russia-Ukraine war and why Zelensky refuses to come to the peace table. That's far more important than some dudes getting their dick wet. I'm just saying. Because people are dying every single day.
So let's say that's the case. How then would it not help us focus on those things when everybody is preoccupied with this list? Just release everything. Nothing happens, and then we can focus on
he's already signed to release everything. Trump signed to release
everything with everything that we care about redacted.
Well,
hold on. You didn't actually think that he had the power to actually release everything. The CIA. This has been the problem the whole time.
Instead of being like, "Why do you guys care about this?"
Hold on. This is the problem. This is why this is such an issue. One of the most important things to realize about how little power Trump has over releasing these files is the way that the government works and the layers of bullshit in between him and the reality. The reality is that as long as an agency, and it could be CIA, NSA, DEA, or DIA, DIS, any FBI, any agency is investigating those files, they will be redacted. And a lot of them won't be released at all. Let's say that they think a military member is involved, and now you got CID, NIS, which is no longer it's NCIS, and who's the Air Force guys? The Air Force.
All those executive branches that you named, those they all work for Trump. Every one of those executive
they work for him, but they have this bulletproof layer of if they're under investigation, they can't release names and all that.
He still can. He can as the ultimate declassification.
The most Trump can do is declassify. Because of how everything is set up as independent, he can't do a whole lot. I hate to break it to you.
He can't, and what they're doing right now, the mantra right now is that they have to determine how many of these victims are or may possibly still be were minors at the time and all that, because there's like laws about releasing that information. This is just a cesspool of nonsense where normally you just release it and it'd be fine. You can't do that. He can declassify things, but he can't. Yeah, with the power of his mind. No, he can't.
Yeah, I'm not saying with the power of his mind he should do this, that, or anything.
I'm just laughing at Uncle Fatty. Uncle Fatty came in and throw some grenades.
But the notion, the thing that I'm upset about is not that he can't do things that he can't do. Is that he's changing his tune, even if he only said it one time in the run-up.
All he said was they would think about that.
Even if that's the case, even if that's the case, he was in a position of we want to drain the swamp. We want to make sure the corruption and so on and so on and so on. And even when it came to Epstein, maybe he was dodgy, but he was on I'll say my side for the purpose of this discussion. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, with that one press conference, when someone asked Pam Bondi about it, it's like, wait, you still care about this? That is what I'm saying about. If you want to tell me that Trump's attitude and Trump's words and Trump rhetoric does not have an effect on American politics, then I don't know what to tell you.
I find it interesting. I don't know what anybody cares. I mean, I find it interesting if people are still talking about it. We have, like I said, I think they only trot it out as a distraction when there's some other nasty ass shit going down.
Then why didn't he treat it as every other distraction?
He has. He literally went through the process. Congress voted on the bill to release the files, and he signed.
Prior to that, he had Dan Bongino and Kash Patel went through all the files and said there's not much here. They had to come out hats in hand.
I agree with you, Socrates. What's up, man? It's been a minute.
Okay, so real quick, though,
you should have come to Nashville, by the way.
I want to press you a little bit on this because
I do. I care about PDS.
You were quoting somebody in chat too. The declassification argument, like you're saying, Trump's held up by all this red tape; he can't do it. But his defense in the Florida case, when he took all those documents, was I ultimately hold the top declassification power. Declassification stems from the power of the presidency, Constitution.
Declassification doesn't mean releasing to the public. Yeah,
redactions, as Jason said, I agree to. Are
right. And that's what he's doing now. Is he's like, hey, this is what you guys want to do it, and he released it. Yeah. Now I do believe that, and because I don't know who else I thought that once they passed that the bill to release all of that garbage, I thought that meant that it wouldn't be redacted. I was actually pretty surprised when it came out redacted, but then I remembered that again, during an active investigation, there's information it cannot be released. So
well, and that's actually one of the tricks that they do is they never close the investigation.
right,
So
and
everything
they're never
out.
going to. That's my point. They're never going to close.
It's ridiculous. I work for the government. I'll tell you exactly how corrupt it is. I mean,
he is a Fed. What of it?
I am a Fed. Yeah, 100%. But I've been serving my country since '96. I mean, and I will admit it's where it has faults, and I'll admit where it's fucking based. There's a lot of corruption in the bureaucracy.
It's pretty corrupt.
I'm going to tell you guys the facts now, and nobody's going to like this, but the Epstein files.
Well, hold on. Before you do that, Socrates, the link is pinned, my man. You should be up here chatting with us. Second, you missed out you should have come to Nashville. You missed out hardcore, my man. You missed out so much.
So the Epstein files have always been a nothing burger. There is no list out there. The reason why the government is trying to slow this is because there's different laws and such. When investigations are being done, you get a lot of raw notes, and a lot of those raw notes never result in anything, but they're still written down. And we're going to see a lot of those raw notes. So we're going to see rumors that ended up being false, and we're going to not have no context that this ended up being false. And we found it out 10 pages later in the notes. They're going to be cherry picked out to use the public shaming mechanism to go after people who actually probably did nothing wrong. There's no way to differentiate between hobnobbing and the people that were there doing bad things that people are speculating. And until we have solid proof on a case-by-case basis, nothing's going to come of this. They're protecting their donors because their donors were hobnobbing with another billionaire. That's all it was just a bunch of rich people sucking each other.
Doing rich people shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and one of the arguments about all of this is
we're boring ANCAP.
They're worried. Well,
we're not nearly
nerdy enough for this.
I'll throw up a bone. Communism works good on paper. That's it.
Yeah, same thing I've heard probably a couple hundred times at this point. Not exactly a bone for me.
But anarchism doesn't even work on paper.
No, anarchism.
American Nacho. That is Aircraft Sparky. What's up, man? Hey, the link's pinned. Jump up if you want to.
The people who advocate for anarchism are the first people that will die. 100%. Because I will kill them.
Well,
okay. Well, right. It'll be interesting to be murdered by you. So I can't wait.
Yeah, the Unreasonable Man show does not condone such actions.
No. It's all jokes. It's all memes, ladies and gentlemen. But no, it's hilarious. The people who want to scream, "Oh, the NAP and stuff," they don't.
Oh no, I'm not. You're
tyrants run the world. They always
communist.
Well, okay, so the NAP is primarily pushed by like libertarians and ANCAPs. The anarchism that I tend to prescribe, while I would agree in basic principle with the non-aggression principle, I think they rely far too much on it, and I think they failed to see that the way that power accumulates means that no one's gonna give a shit about the NAP when they're trying to get their way.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got to employ force in order to get people to fall in line. People are not a monolith. So.
Sparky, you got to talk.
No, people are not a monolith. And I agree. If you want people to fall in line, yes, you absolutely need to utilize force. My ideas surround finding a way, not necessarily to get people to fall in line as such, but to figure out a way to allow those many different opinions and views to come together and find a happy medium as much as possible without giving any particular person or group the kind of power that one would need to make people fall in line.
Yeah, hell yeah. You give it to the state. Regulations, baby. Big government. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, what is it? What is the label in your name?
Anarcho-communist. So ANCOM is that, and then SciComm is just because I do some science communication here and there as well.
So how do you feel about Dave Smith?
Sorry, say the name. Dave Smith.
Dave Smith has been getting owned left and right.
I am not familiar with the name.
Oh, hold on!
I don't believe you.
I have a clip.
Okay, I've never heard of it.
Really?
All right. Yeah,
I think I've got a clip.
He's a libertarian comedian, is all it is. That's all you need to know.
Is he a comedian?
Okay, yeah, no, like
I
thought we were joking. No, yeah.
No.
He did part of the problem, and he did that debate with Douglas Murray. He's done Israel is his like main thing, but he's very much
He's a Jewsburg.
Yeah, like I don't follow most, if any, like big names in the libertarian community, just because I think all of them are like just have the weirdest sets of contradictions in their ideas that they don't see, and I have not really found any utility in following what they say.
You're a communist.
Yes, I am.
You do realize the irony in what you're saying.
I would rather hang out with him more than anyone that watches Candace Owens.
Candace Owens,
I mean,
man, she has
generally when I hear the idea that anarchism and communism are somehow contradictory, it's from people who are using a definition of communism that only exists because some people did some shit in a really fucking weird way.
Sounds like communism to me.
I'm not up on communism.
Anyways,
I'm a student of history,
my definition of communism is one that includes statelessness as part of that definition. Stateless, classless, moneyless society, from each according to their ability to each according to their need. So, given that definition, I see no contradiction between the ideas of anarchism and communism. In fact, I see them as being two different expressions of the same basic idea.
Interesting. Well, Dave Smith doesn't like me, and I have a video clip proving that. I don't know what I did with it. I saw it the other day, and because we were talking about it over on Fabian Liberty's channel, I was like, yeah, Dave Smith doesn't like me.
I find it interesting that Dave Smith is considered to be a skilled debater.
No, he's not a skilled debater.
No, he's not. Honestly, and our buddy over here, Tyler, calls him a Jewsburg. Anytime anyone gets the label of a Jewsburg, automatically disregard their opinion, just like people with nose rings.
I don't even know what that means. What does Jewsburg even mean?
If all you talk about is Israel, you're a Jewsburg.
You know what spurging is, yeah? Like when Destiny names off 8 half-true things in a row.
If that's all you can talk about, if that's the only amount of substance that you can bring up, you're
well, you guys don't like Dave Smith, but
no, I actually have nothing against Dave Smith. I just think his opinions are irrelevant.
I liked him until he was a dweeb. Then, I liked him less.
He's my number one. He's my number one, dude. He is.
Isn't he recently saying impeach Trump and put him in prison underneath the prison at this point?
And I disagree with that. And it was
why would
he was never.
I'll find it. We'll play.
He's a libertarian. He's not Republican. He was very open about the fact that he only voted for Trump because he's like, Kamala and the Democrats deserve to lose.
Did you see the?
I don't disagree.
Critique that Liquid Zulu, who is an actual ANCAP libertarian, did of Dave Smith and his?
I didn't, but I heard they have a debate coming up.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Dave Smith is going to get smoked into the dirt. Liquid Zulu, don't agree with everything he says, but he is very smart. Very smart.
Yeah, that's a good point. From my chat, Dave wants to impeach all presidents. It's not that he's saying Trump is especially bad. He's just like, yeah, they're all war criminals. They're all so that would be the context of that.
See, I think both can be true. I think Trump can be especially bad, and all U.S. presidents can be war criminals.
I think all presidents can be war criminals, but see,
I think
the problem with that argument is the president doesn't do anything. So he cannot literally be a war criminal. The person who commits the act are the actual war criminals. Bibi Netanyahu, who a lot of people like to call a war criminal, was an actual Mossad agent. He was a major in the IDF. He did a lot of amazing work. In fact,
so I have a question for you.
Killing a bunch.
I have a question for you on that point, which is if your commanding officer orders you to commit an act that ends up being classified as a war crime, and you commit that act, is the commanding officer not also at fault and therefore guilty of committing a war crime by ordering you to do so?
Yes.
So there's actually some nuance to this.
Okay.
As a combat vet who has done a few things, not much.
Yeah.
You could be ordered something, and you pretty much have to take most of that, unless it's like an act of genocide or killing innocents and things like that. You have to take that as lawful immediately. That is how the military works. And I will tell you this: the United States military, the actual country, the United States, will never submit to an international court, because we have this thing called sovereignty, and fuck you if you try to take it away from us. We will kill you all for it. And any country that cucks themselves to the international courts are not really countries. So they can go eat all the dicks.
All of that was beside my point.
Well,
my
so
point
the deal
was
is-
that, like, if we're taking the standards of what it means to be a war criminal,
U.S. military members are trained on international law.
okay,
We are all trained on that stuff. What we can do, what we cannot do. That way we can identify. However, like, we'll look at gray areas. Okay. When it comes to, like, the deployment of National Guards to defend federal buildings within the United States, you could argue that violates posse comitatus. The Supreme Court would disagree. Okay, that is actually legal to do, but it is being worked through the courts right now as we speak. SCOTUS is going to come out and say, shut the fuck up, Democrats, you're stupid, and move the fuck on. When it comes to things like the bombing of boats in the Caribbean, things that I actually disagree with, I don't think we should be doing that. I think if we're going to be doing that, it should be done closer to our own shores, because we don't know the destinations of these drugs. Yes, these things.
we don't even know that there are drugs on a lot of these boats.
When you see big 55-gallon barrels of shit, I assure you, my
It's
friend,
drugs.
it is not fucking. So look, you can play dumb all you want with that, and I'm okay with that. But I will tell you that the line of intel that goes into a target package is so fucking in depth, you will never know about it, nor should you ever have to. They know what the fuck they're blowing up.
All right,
So
fair enough. But
so you have to take
the
it.
point of the question. The point of the question was that
commander.
if the U.S. president, being the commander-in-chief of the military, orders his subordinates to do something that would meet the typical definition of a war crime, then at the very least you could accurately label a president as a war criminal, even if there's no conviction or whatever. Like,
absolutely,
the whole point is, like,
game,
absolutely.
So you can play that game, but
it's
the
even
president
weird
never
to-
orders anyone to do anything. Literally never orders.
But who's the commander in chief?
The commander in chief, the president of the United States, green lights things. They never give orders.
Okay, but that's
They approve.
I think the point
There's
we're
a
trying to
difference.
say.
but like, the green lighting is still, like, if a general comes to him with something that would meet the definition of war crime and he green lights it, he allows it to go forward,
He
then
approves it. That's different.
yes.
That is not giving orders.
Approving a war crime is still a war crime.
There are literally only two units that the president actually gives direct orders to on the regular. One is the United States Marine Corps, and the second is the U.S. Army Delta Force. All the other ones go through this insane chain of command thing.
Yeah, and there's I'll get into the reason for that for just 1 second. This is the funniest fucking thing I've read today. They aren't going to travel 2,000 kilometers in a jet boat, dumbasses. I'm speechless. First of all, they're not jet boats.
No.
They're fucking cigarette boats. They're fucking offshore racing boats that are literally designed to travel 2,000 miles in rough water. That's literally their fucking
They're
job.
low profile to actually drop down their radar signature and everything else.
Yeah, there's a reason they're using racing boats. It's not a jet boat, you dumbass. Yeah, one boat was an old guy fishing, another was a bunch of. I mean, seriously, where do I find these guys? Well, actually, he's here all the time. I don't have to find him. He knows where I am.
Look. If they have proof, then they should go ahead and they should bring all that
tell you
evidence
what,
to the proper authorities.
Tell you what, I agree with Sparky. Canadian, go to your Canadian authorities and turn in your evidence against the United States and see where that gets you. So here we go. As far as the chain of command goes, and the best expression I ever heard of this was, even if a general walked by and told a sergeant to do something, the sergeant would literally have a coronary because he's so far out of his chain of command, he doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing, and it would create havoc.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If a general walked by and said, "Sergeant, take your men and go 100 miles over there," there's an entire line of people that he has bypassed. So and these orders are given very vague on purpose. Trump says we need to do something about
XYZ. Yeah,
Kuwait, whatever. We need to do something about these people. 4 or 5 generals and some DSA guys, NSA, but a lot of acronyms there, a lot of initials, all the alphabet soup. They all come up with a bunch of different plans. Some people read them that are really smart. They give him the best 3 or 4 or 5, and he picks one and says, "Okay, this one has the lowest risk of loss of life to Americans," or whatever his criteria is. And he says, "Okay, let's do this one." It's the vaguest thing possible. It'll literally say we're going to have assets go here, and assets are going to do this, and assets are going to come back. Then that goes to some general somewhere, or an admiral, or what the fuck ever, flag rank, and they're going to say to a colonel or a group of colonels, "Colonel, we need to make this happen. Figure it out." And the colonel's going to go to his staff, and he's going to say, "Staff, let's get this shit figured out. It needs to be done next week." And his staff are going to go to the sergeants and ask them what the fuck to do. And the sergeants are going to tell the staff what to do. And eventually it'll get back to the generals. And then you'll have something go on. That's the best way of explaining. But because, again, you can't have the military is a huge organism. You can't just have random, like random people just go, "Hey, go do this." Right. And everything up from the top up is like, it's just so vague. We're going to go do this. We're going to do this. And we're going to, we're going to use assets of this group. We're going to use assets of that group. But it's all very vague. So it's not like he said, it's not like Trump says, "I want you to blow up this fucking boat right here. This one, the red, white, and yellow one." Because yellow is an offensive color with red and white.
That is true. That is true.
Whatever. But that's not how that works. I mean, I understand your point of view, but that's not that's not how that works. So,
Grid, I did promise a bunch of people I'm going to jump around for my birthday, so I am going to take my leave. But
hey, happy birthday, IJ!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
How old are you, man?
Indian Jesus, your birthday is not for another month. What the fuck are you doing?
What?
He just turned 21.
I missed it.
He got you
right over my head.
Yeah.
I may be back. I don't know. We'll see. I'm jumping around. I don't got plans, but we will see. But
well, let me know how your first beer goes, Indian Jesus. You're finally legal to drink.
How old are you there, Hot Rod?
I'm 36.
36.
36.
Nice.
Yep. So,
Well, good for you, young man.
Oh my God, you're a boomer. Like,
thank you, guys.
Let's go.
You guys
See
are
you,
good.
man.
Mhm.
What's up, Nacho? How are you, man?
What's up, dude?
I was hoping Nacho was gonna come on.
So I got
I was hoping Nacho would bring that mustache on, and damn, did he ever!
Yeah, it is a glorious mustache. I'm very jealous.
The 70s called. They need a new porn star.
American Ron Jeremy.
Disavow, dude.
So this dude Notla's in your chat spurging out here.
I know he's always he's great. He's great. And this is the best one so far. Look at this.
if you really wanted something to go against,
Absolutely no proof of any of that.
Look,
And,
if you've got proof of that, please bring it forward. That way, Connor can actually, hold up on any of his threats that he claims that he ever wants to do.
Yeah.
Where his closest ally was actually the guy who took a shot at him and paid for it. Something that Connor would never do because Connor's a fucking coward.
Yeah, Connor will.
Wait,
hang
which
out with the
Connor?
guy.
Connor counterpoints.
Okay, I thought so. I was just.
He'll hang out with the dude that currently has an open charge against him for trying to solicit sex from a minor to go against.
Apparently a valid.
But he's more conservative than us.
He'll introduce him to his mother, dude.
Yeah, me and Rob got into it with Connor all night the other night. Well, not the other night. I say the other night.
Hold on, Patty says they were open body fishing boats. Is that true?
No. You can literally look at the videos and you can see the 55-gallon drums in them.
Oh yeah, that's the best one. I like that one.
There was another one.
And then you look at the boat and it's just stacked with fucking 55-gallon drums. Like,
and there was one that the Coast Guard intercepted the other day that had a bunch of boxes and shit that were waterproof. And they're like, look at how they're treating these poor fishermen. I'm like,
I wanted to ask.
There's not even a fishing pole or a net on there.
Who on here said they were an ANCOM?
That's the one with ANCOM in the name. You might just read the names.
So it's how do you because you said it's different because it's to each their own according to their needs. So that's not contradictory. How is that? So how would you figure out what people's needs are, and then how would you distribute if you don't have?
Okay. You're talking about the latter part of my definition of communism.
Yeah, I'm just like I don't understand.
So from each according to their ability to each according to their need. It's the general premise of it. Obviously, there are plenty of details I can try and get into, but I think needs are in general relatively obvious. Like people need water, food, housing, healthcare, etc. We can work on building a society that meets all of those needs for all of the people in that society. That's the general premise. I didn't really come on to debate the whole communism thing.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm just I don't understand.
You are. Hold on. This is American Nacho. What he does is he puts people on the spot.
Come on.
No, fair enough. I mean, I can do some on the spot, but I came here for nerd debates. So if we're not doing that,
we're supposed to be doing nerd debates. We never got. We don't have any judges. The guy.
Okay.
The holidays are, got us, man. They got us.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
So we're gonna bullshit, man. I'm sorry. I thought.
No, it's all good. I'll probably stay on for a little bit, but
as long as
I'm not here to debate communism. I can do that another day, another time. My name is the same everywhere. If you ever want to actually have a conversation with me about this, I'm happy to do that. Just not in that spot tonight.
I just don't think there's much to debate. I don't know how you distribute.
Well, that's why I said conversation. I didn't, I'm not necessarily looking for debates most of the time. Like I'll do it on the horseradish every once in a while because he comes up with interesting topics and allows me to stretch that muscle a little bit. But I'm not generally a debater. I am happy to have a conversation with anyone.
You should expect it, though. You should expect it. That's the thing.
Yes, of course I expect it. I'm a communist. I'm a communist in an internet politics space. I expect it from almost everyone I meet.
Yeah, exactly.
He's probably shocked at how accommodating I am.
Look, I actually like internet communists. I think they're hilarious. But
I got to answer this question. How do you look in I'm assuming this means closed body boat? You don't. What you do is those boats are marked when they leave shore because we have very, very reasonably good intelligence network in Venezuela that has I think all we have in Venezuela right now is spies, right? Because that's the only people that can be there. Didn't we want to put normal people there, representatives and shit? But now all we have are spies.
Imagine the U.S. not having assets on the ground of a target. I'm just.
I think all we've got are spies there right now. We don't have any normal people. Drugs are for fishing. That's probably true.
Dude, cocaine shrimp are the best shrimp.
Cocaine shrimp.
If you're not doing shit tons of cocaine to stay awake for an all-night fishing trip, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, I
It's
bet
funny.
those shrimps are addicted.
It's funny because I honestly believe that that's why some of the Gulf shrimp are so good, is because they get an extra helping of cocaine from all the cocaine that's gone down in the Gulf.
God, I used to hate shrimp season, dude. Fuck.
I'm actually allergic to shrimp, so
Are you really?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I found that out a couple years ago when my my mouth started getting swelling up.
So you eat? So are you? Is that all shellfish?
Jake's
Yeah, all
actually
shellfish.
Jewish.
Yeah,
He
all
so you're
shellfish.
kosher.
can't eat shellfish.
Yeah, lobster,
Mazel tov.
shrimp.
Congratulations, man.
Well, that kind of sucks because like that shit's good. What the fuck?
My man's part of the tribe. I like it. I'll send you a little hat in the mail, man. I got you one.
Oh, appreciate that.
Got you, bro. He's got you. Oh man, that's awesome. So, how are you, Nacho? Man, I hadn't seen you since the debate con.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm just living the American dream, dude. Spending time with the wife and kids and stuff like that.
How was your Thanksgiving, my man?
It was good. I had lots of food. We actually went to our parish actually did their first like Thanksgiving, like a parish Thanksgiving at the church. So they had people RSVP.
Nice.
And so we actually just decided to go to that.
Are you
make it a little
Orthodox
easier.
or what are you? Are you?
Yeah, Orthodox. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, OCA.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. It was a big dinner, and they know how to cook, so it was good. Everything's really good.
All right, man. That's good.
I got a question.
Turkey with the peeps.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were finished. I got a question to pose for you guys. So there's something that Trump is clearly violating the Congress, ignoring the Congress on, the TikTok sale. In that sale, after 270 days after the bill was passed through Congress, the president is allowed only one 90-day extension, and Joe Biden used that. Trump also used a 90-day extension, which people are kind of giving him maybe, new president, new 90-day extension, but he's done it 2 more times since, clearly violating the one time in the order. And because it's so quick, because the sale could be over before a lawsuit even gets filed, nobody's challenging it, but he's clearly violating his powers here. Does anybody give a shit?
My 2 cents on that is that I think this has more to do with China than it has to do with America. I think the same thing would be happening even if a Democrat was in office.
Yeah,
if you look at the statements, they're contradictory. From whenever we said, Trump says, "Oh yeah, I'm going to make TikTok sell," and then Xi Jinping comes out like in a week later or something, and he's like, "I don't know what the hell they're talking about. We're not selling shit."
Yeah,
so there's clearly something going on, you know what I mean, behind the scenes. They've set all this stuff up for Larry Ellison, to be the main buyer and all this other shit. I
really want to have a discussion with someone at some point on why the Chinese economy is why it's working, and why technologically what we think that the things that we're told as Americans just are not reality for what's actually going on in China. Like we're consistently being told that that they're a decade behind us in EV vehicles when they're actually ahead of us by like a lot. Like their EV vehicles are way better than ours, and way cooler in a lot of ways. They're told that we're told that their cell network, that we have much better cell networks, much better cell equipment, all that kind of stuff. That's garbage. They're not light years ahead of us, but they're close.
They run on an analog system that mimics a digital system, which I actually find to be quite interesting. So does Japan. So they're actually using less bandwidth with their transmissions and whatnot. Like when I lived in Japan and had World Phone, that wasn't a digital system. It was all analog. It was fucking amazing. Most of the world, it's really only America and Europe that is running on your digital side. Most of Asia still runs on an analog.
Well, there's a reason for that, because, and again, I don't want to get into the points because there's a lot to talk about. Just the cellular system alone is interesting because China adopted cell phones much faster than the U.S. did, or any other country did, because they never had a wired infrastructure in their country. They never had we had phone.
Fucking sucks.
But how's that an advantage for China though if they're using analog?
Because it carries further.
Yeah,
it's a cleaner signal over further distances, and China's fucking massive.
Yeah, I would figure it's harder to maintain though, right?
digital is a lot more prone to interference. It's also more expensive because then you have to have more advanced coding and decoding on both ends.
And digital's a little bit more line of sight. But so there's analog is very cheap. Analog is way hella cheaper to maintain. If you just look at the trillions of dollars set up to build the cell infrastructure that covers North America, you would probably be just mind blown. It is actually insane. I'm not going to say China's ahead. Last time I was in China, when I was stationed in Japan, I took a trip over to Beijing and stuff, and I would say they were about 20 years behind us technologically and a lot of things. But
why don't I mean?
Well, I'm curious when that was, because they've been making a lot of leaps, as I understand, in terms of technology.
I was there around 2007.
That was a long time ago. Okay,
yeah, so almost 20 years ago. Yeah, I think in that time they have advanced faster than we have in some respects.
Yeah. Well, it's because they actually steal shit from us and then.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. Were there innovation?
Hold on. Again, I don't want to get bogged down in specific subjects, but it's interesting. I was actually watching a presentation by NVIDIA's COO, and he was talking about how trying to do business in China works and what the reality of the Chinese tech landscape is, because you have 33 provinces and they each have their own economy to some degree, and it's a very, we think of it as a communist nation, but it's really not communist really at all.
It's except it's communism. It's a communist governmental structure. With more of a capitalist economic style.
Yeah, so. and it's a very interesting mix. But he was specifically talking about the technology with AI and some of that, where he was talking about how we thought, and I'm when I use we here, I'm basically saying American technology companies like NVIDIA thought that they were years ahead of China. But when he was over there, he said, they're nanoseconds behind us, and they evolve so quickly. They have less regulation. They have, a much better STEM system. They're teaching they have while they don't necessarily have smarter people, they have more skilled people when it comes to these things, and it's really bad.
The lack of the regulation is actually a boon to them. However, one of the problems with that lack of regulation is that they do have a huge lack in quality. So,
well, I don't disagree that can be the case, but I don't think that is always the case.
No, it's not always.
I also think that
if you look at major major sectors of industry, like I work in aviation.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the regulations that we have to abide by on the daily, we would have planes falling out of the fucking sky like mad.
Well,
it's also worth noting that a lot of the things, a lot of what they sell to the U.S. and other countries is their lower quality shit, because we have a very consumerist society where we're just buying lots of cheap shit all the time, and so that allows them some economic flexibility to save the higher quality shit for internal reasons.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. There's actually, when I was over there, and I forget which trip it was, but I was watching the only English speaking channel that they had, and they're actually interviewing some different businessmen in China. They were talking about why they don't sell Chinese brand name products outside of China, and the across the board the answer was, we don't need to. We have a billion. Yeah, we have a billion person market here to sell to. We don't need to. But they have more new millionaires a week than any other country in the world. Yes. They're just,
well, I mean, they have more people than any country in the world. Sure. So
yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. Okay, so it's about the engagement in the economic.
You got to speak back into your mic, Sparky.
So it's more about the engagement in the economic activity other than the amount of people, because the majority of people in China are POO. They can't even afford the R. That's how poor they are. Okay, they just okay.
They're poo. They're poo.
Yeah.
They're poo. That's
but
funny.
it's really interesting, the Chinese model of economy, the way they are propped up. They're propped up through Western reliance on slave labor. If we actually cut off trade to them, they would die. They can't maintain. They don't make enough food for themselves. Okay, we literally prop them up. They do not exist without Western reliance on their slave labor and us trading food and shit.
Yeah, but
So,
now
Jason,
our companies
I don't agree with
all
that,
our companies are kind of
Economically,
leaning on that.
I'm sorry.
No. Our consumerism leans into
Jason,
that.
you would contribute. Oh, sorry, you give that contribution to the United States to prop China in the last 10 years or so to be at least the second or third superpower in the world is because of the United States.
Since Nixon, the West has propped up China.
China,
yes.
yeah.
Well, I kind of I'm going to push back on that because the numbers don't support that anymore. The number,
Well, I mean,
year
a third of their grains
over
come
year,
from
they
there.
export less and less here, and they seem to not care about exporting a lot of stuff to the U.S. anymore.
Well, so when I say the West, I'm not just meaning the U.S.
No, I mean the West. Like they're and this is actually something I was thinking hardcore right after COVID and up until last year. I actually thought that with the sentiment in China and the way everything was looking, that they were going to go back to like 1970 when they shut the country down and there was nobody in or out, and they just said fuck everybody, and they wouldn't sell anybody. They didn't do anything.
Okay, but China exports goods. The only thing they import really is food and raw material. When it comes down to it, China is the Western industrial base right now because
they import a lot of energy.
That's why we need them. They don't need us. They don't need to export their shit to us.
Actually,
they import a ton of energy.
They actually do need us because without us importing grains and things like that, they would literally starve.
Yeah, but they could also
with.
just go to war for some of that stuff if they really need to.
They can grow their own. First of all, they can grow their own. They do.
I mean, they wouldn't go to. I'm not saying they would come to us, but they could just walk right into India, Pakistan, all their neighboring countries. They could take whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
Look, say what you want about India, but they have been fighting over a border area and have not defeated the street shitters yet. Are they really fighting though? I mean,
yeah, I don't think they're really.
I don't know what China's capable of, to be honest, but I don't think India's gonna. I don't think India's gonna stand much of a chance.
I think people misunderstand the mentality of the Chinese is that they just don't give a fuck outside their country.
No, Asians are very nationalist.
Yeah, they just don't
hardcore.
care.
They are they're actually some of the most racist people you will ever.
Oh yeah,
100%.
That's what I've heard. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, like I love Japan. You know, when I lived there, you know, I was gaijin, which is essentially their N-word, because you're not one of them.
Are the women as racist as the men? Like,
no, they love.
they love
American cock.
Yeah, I bet.
Okay,
that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
But the families,
they're pretty
appreciated. To be quite.
I think
frank.
the problem is that we've been. So this is a thing. This is a problem I have with the American mentality, and it needs to change. We've got to change it. We have. Well, I 100% American greatness across the board. We are excellent. Most other countries suck. The problem is that we need for our political machine needs a boogeyman for Americans to be afraid of to keep the military industrial complex working, keep the fires lit. If it's not when it can't be Russia, it's got to be China. When it can't be China, it's going to be North Africa. When it can't be North Africa, it's going to be Germany again. Trust me, there's always going to be a boogeyman somewhere where that we got to keep this up.
Well, so I would argue, and this is just my pet peeve. And I work in defense. I work for the government, so I'll go ahead and put those out there. So I am a little biased. I think the focus on the military industrial complex, I think, is ridiculous when 2/3 of our budget goes to entitlements.
Right. Yeah.
If we could get rid of the whole entitlements thing, or at least
can you define that for me?
Social Security, welfare, SNAP, entitlements.
Gotcha.
Okay, so
And you would agree to get rid of that stuff, right?
I believe that we need to get rid of most of that. There are some that we cannot get rid of, and so like VA benefits. Part of the contract is actually, look, if we fuck you up, we will give you X amount of money. We'll give you certain benefits for serving with honor, things like that. I don't think you can get rid of that as easily.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I like the idea of a social safety net, but it needs to be a limited one, such as limiting food stamps, limiting unemployment, limiting SNAP, things like that. And I think
yeah, but if we're going to do that, we
amazing.
have to strong arm corporations and get them to bring the labor jobs back to the U.S. Though we can't keep letting them outsource. You can't have both.
No,
You can't.
I agree.
You can
I
have
agree with all
corporations
that.
outsourcing all the labor and then have no social safety net for the people that are displaced
agree.
inevitably
I agree with
by
all that.
outsourced labor and H-1B fucking hordes and immigration hordes. So it's
But,
from the southern border. So
there's actually
you can't have
problem.
open borders and fucking hordes. Okay, it's just not going to work.
There's another problem that a lot of people don't consider.
The visa programs are like quadruple what they were originally intended to be.
Visa programs are out of control, and I know
ridiculous.
you're into that, Tyler, but I think it's really, yeah.
They're 9 months H-1B specifically.
Talk to me
Fuck H-1B.
about
Okay, wait,
temporary.
hold on.
Because
Because I'm curious.
Because
I'm curious. Because I want to know. Because I'm always curious. Because you're probably like a little more left leaning. You're center left or liberal. So
Supposedly.
you're probably not. You're probably like pro like regulated capitalism, right?
Yeah, generally.
Okay, so then why do you want to allow? Like, why would you want American workers to be displaced? Like, you should be for American workers, right? Like, why do you want to enable corporations to bring in
H1s.
swaths of immigrants
Okay, I can answer that.
to
but
displace American workers for a lower quality wage and a lower quality of life?
it's not displacement. The quality of life is improving. What it is called structural unemployment. When the economy's demand shift, what we're doing is we're exporting shitty jobs and we're upgrading our sectors to do more tech jobs. We're building planes. We're building really highly advanced technology, and most countries.
Yeah, but you just reframed what I said and said
But we're
instead of lower paying, you're just saying, oh, it's a shitty job. Well, that doesn't matter. It's if your company or your corporation can't survive without underpaying workers, then you don't.
It's not.
You deserve to fail. You know what I mean?
It's not surviving. It's not underpaying. You're going to hyperbole. All they're going to do is charge more. What this does is bring the cost down. It brings the cost down of goods based on a percentage of disposable income. So,
but if the employees can afford the product,
hold on, let me finish a single point.
Then that's different.
In the 90s, you were paying 9.2% of your disposable income for food and eating at home more than ever. In 2020 or 2019, you're paying 5.5% of your disposable income on food. We're making the cost of goods come down cheaper as a percentage of what you spend on them. Even if the price goes up and your wages go up, and that whole figure keeps rising.
But
we're
you're just enabling the corporations to pay lower wages. Though that's the point that I'm getting at. Like,
so the wages will go up if you
doesn't want to pay you. If you load the market on the supply side with labor, then it's always in favor of the corporation. The house always wins.
The
game is rigged
I'm
against the citizens.
Capitalist. I'm a capitalist. What's wrong with corporations?
Well, I mean, I'm a regulated capitalist. Like,
but Tyler,
much more regulated than we are now. And
not corporations.
But Tyler, do you prefer that
you
Americans
in favor of oligarchs?
Yeah, they're not oligarchies. They're successful businesses.
Oh, come
These
on,
are
dude.
Businesses that people decide.
I'm arguing the left position now.
Yeah,
you have been. You have been for about the last
Jesus
fight.
Christ, dude.
Well,
I'm a nationalist. Ultimately,
illegal
I'm a
immigrants.
statist.
Come on, dude.
No, not illegal immigration.
You love illegal immigration and labor. That's what you
get
want.
every single legal out.
Everybody,
Every illegal, you bring 2 legals in.
Give me 1 sec, Tyler. So first of all, this guy, Not Lowe's 2, is supposed to be a highly educated man. He's been studying for 30 years, economics and politics and all this kind of thing. Doesn't understand it. Yeah, sure, China crisscrossed their country with high-speed rail in 10 years. How did they do that? Well, they didn't have any infrastructure to start with, so they didn't have to tear anything down, and there was nothing else for the people to use. So all the time, money, and effort went into the system right out of the gate. In America, you couldn't sell a high-speed rail because we have these things, and they're called cars. And people love their fucking cars. They love their fucking airplanes. You're not gonna fucking go on a fucking train. I'm just telling you right now. We feel
Which
like
is a
such
shame because trains are awesome. Just
Again,
every autistic
you
guy
have
ever.
to clean up. Again, you have to clean up the streets. You can't invite large swaths of immigrants who aren't assimilating into the country, who don't have the same cultural standards, the same sanitary standards, the same understanding of social etiquette. And like in the UK, where they're like, oh, well, I didn't know I couldn't grape a lady on the train. That's not my culture. She was wearing no clothing, so I just thought I could. It's like you can't do that. Well, we have large swaths of the country that are like all Muslim, don't speak English. You have the Somali problem in Minnesota. What do you mean? So what? So that's why you can't have public transport. Nobody's going to invest in that if it's not safe. Why do I want my tax dollars to go to that? If it's unsafe?
New York City has the highest multilingual rate in the country and also one of the biggest metro systems.
Yeah, these things don't correlate at all. Like you're just saying,
what are you talking about?
So we can't have buses. So
their cultures do not assimilate. The eating the cats and dogs, as funny as it was true. There were videos all over the place. There were people snatching swans out of lakes and public parks. Yes.
Their cultures don't
so I mean, that's what I'm talking about. So there's a difference between just like being like, oh, brown people scary, and actually watching people do horrific things that are completely against your moral, ethic, as well as just a societal norm.
Honestly, Tyler's running away.
I do think it's interesting that a guy that says he has done this for 30 years doesn't understand the basics of how things happen in countries. If you already have a country with a developed system, getting them to change that system is damn near impossible. That's why there just aren't a lot of cars in England. A lot of public transportation, not a lot of cars. That's why there's not a lot of in France. The high-speed rail exists. People don't own cars there. Why?
So they said the same things about Slavic people coming over here 100 years ago. They don't speak English. The first generationers didn't. They were dirty. They're not American. They all these things.
All that's true.
Hey, fuck you.
True.
Hey, fuck you. They said the same thing about Slavic people. All this is just fear of change. It's not.
It is different though. It is noticeably different. All of the European countries that immigrated here for the majority of the history of immigration assimilated well to the culture.
They did not. It took decades.
We didn't change this until Jan. I don't think
this is not a blood and soil
like, no, this was always the case. No, this is
you guys
this is
have to let each other talk.
He doesn't even let me finish a sentence, dude. I'm trying. Like,
Greg, you should do a 1v1 with them right now.
This is not a blood and soil nation. You don't get to say, well, they're not assimilating to what I want. People come in here, the first generation generally don't speak the language. This isn't something new to America. The Polish people, when they came over here, spoke fucking Polish. They didn't speak good English. It took them a while. Every new migrant group has that same problem.
Even the Irish who did natively speak English when they came over here were ostracized and excluded from a lot of employment.
As they should be.
Those were the ones who actually had the easiest time assimilating to American culture.
How long? Really quick. How long did that take? You said decades. How long exactly? Like 2 decades, 3 decades, etc.
Generally, usually second generation.
Okay. Well,
it was almost immediate.
It seems not to be the case when it comes to when you have hordes of illegal immigrations coming in. You even have people that are
okay, I agree. Illegal immigration bad. Asylum not vetted enough, but we're talking about legal migrants right now and not having transportation.
Yeah, but I am saying this, that it's been a long time since we've had this illegal immigration problem, and they don't seem to assimilate very well, Tyler.
Illegal immigration problem.
A lot of people were abusing the refugees, status and all that stuff too. So honestly, that's how we got Minnesota.
I kind of want to just stick on this. The immigration thing's cool, but I just kind of want to get back to this. So imagine having breakfast in Cali and dinner in Miami while on a super awesome train. Yeah, that was like, I can already do that without the train. It's called a big old jet airliner, baby. Actually, my personal airplane does about 225 miles an hour. So in theory, I could have breakfast in LA and dinner in Miami. I just have to fly.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be a 12-hour. It would be easier. It would be easier if you went the other way, having breakfast in Miami and dinner in California because of the time change.
Make it happen anyways, though.
My long
Make it
easy
happen
actually
anyways.
does have a piss tube, so I can do it. I can do a 12-hour flight. I don't want to, but I can do it.
I admit it would be cool, and I think we could do it better than anybody else. But
yeah,
we got a lot of other groundwork to set.
Problem, honestly, is the fact that the American worker has this hyperinflated worth to them. I do not apologize for this. Someone that can flip a burger is not worth $15 an hour. They can fucking suck all the bags of dicks. Livable wage, get a livable skill. How about that? Okay. I am sick and tired of someone who is a skilled, I'm a skilled tradesman, and I have to basically settle for less money because, fucking Johnny McBurger Flipper thinks that they deserve a livable wage for doing the same thing I was doing at 12 years old.
Jason, I do agree with you on that for sure. But
yeah, I agree. There's temporary,
but you do have to realize that,
like that
inflation has kind of put a lot of people into a lot of pickles here, right?
And a lack of education and a lack of skilled labor, and parents telling their children that they have to go to college to get shitty fucking degrees.
It got very
no. People, wait. What people are doing, going to college to get the STEM degrees, to get the good paying jobs, and then dickheads like Elon Musk are preaching to us during the election that we need to invite hordes of H-1Bs, and it turns out it's because he's abusing the system, because he's posting job listings for $69,000 for $70,000, and
it's also worth noting
the engineers coming out of college should be getting paid $104,000 starting, $94,000 starting, and he lists it under so that it can go unanswered, and then apply for an H-1B, and then he bumps up to like $75,000, $80,000, and then brings in a fucking Indian to replace the guy who just went to school and has $250,000 worth of student loans.
I'm the guy that went to school
and can't get in there.
Nacho, I love you, bro, but engineers straight out of school, is it worth $30,000 a year?
Hold on.
Yeah, but college has gotten so saturated, Jason. Like it's not the same as
for high-paying STEM jobs, engineering jobs. Yes, you should be getting.
I also want to ask Jason something.
$100,000 starting, like.
I also want to ask Jason something. So you said you spent a lot of time becoming a skilled tradesman, yes?
Yes, I'm an electrician and what they call a non-destructive inspector. So I use X-rays all the time.
And so you went through a long apprenticeship and journeymanship to get to this point, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And during that time, you were being paid less than you are now, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. During that time, while you're in the training, and this applies to college and university schooling, as well as trade-based apprenticeships and such. During that time, you still need to live. You still need to have the resources to be able to feed yourself and put a house over, put a roof over your head.
Yes.
And so, when you're saying that they don't deserve a livable wage for, as you say, flipping burgers,
or unskilled labor, yes, you do not.
Okay, so they don't. Well, without a livable wage, they don't live. That's the whole point of the phrase "livable wage."
Issue.
Okay, so you just think they should die because that's what you're proposing.
I think they should suffer and be hungry so they push themselves to be better.
Yeah, but Jason, you would agree
but
that we do
a
need
suffering and
workers,
hungry,
right?
A suffering and hungry populace is overall less productive and actually less likely to be able to reach the higher echelons of training, society, whatever.
The current American society is the least productive that has ever existed in the history of this country, because we are a consumer-based economy and not a skill and industrial-based economy. The productivity stats.
So Jason,
productivity stats
we need low-skill workers in order to run society in general, right? In generalities,
productivity
we need low-skill workers.
Yeah.
What do we produce? Tyler? Hamburgers?
I can go take a look for airplanes.
No. We are
weapons,
military, military missiles.
Can we build ships?
Raytheon.
Do we build commercial shipping?
So here's an interesting
No,
little.
we don't build commercial shipping
I don't think
because we have
commercial.
lost our ability to build ships in America because we've decided to farm that out to the Philippines and Europe and everything else,
Okay.
where we can find cheaper
Hold-
labor.
right.
Okay, as
Well,
an
hold
industrial
on.
base,
This is-
America has lost their skills.
Right, but maybe, but not really.
Unneeded skills.
We're still we are still the number one manufacturing country on the planet. We outpace China. Like we do. We make more shit.
We
We're
make
still
more
the-
big shit.
We
more
make big
shit.
stuff. We make airplanes. We make very
Yeah.
complex things. We make that pay a lot more than sitting there running a plastic injection molding machine all day. That's why we're still the leader in manufacturing. Now, is it a job that my buddy border jumper down there can quit his government job today and go work making parts for F-35s for $120,000 a year? No, he can't do that. It's not possible. So sure, there needs to be gateway jobs. There needs to be a path.
And so I'm not arguing against gateway jobs. Okay. So when I talk about unskilled jobs, these are things that should not be career choices. I do not apologize for this. Being a fry cook in a
I agree with you, Jason.
Yeah, I don't
that's
disagree
not
with
the
that.
argument, though. That's
okay,
not the
but
argument.
that is my argument. That is my argument.
And
But
I agree
my
with Jason
argument
on
is that-
Hold on,
You're not.
let me reframe or not reframe. Let me clarify. I think Jason's argument. Jason's argument is that low skilled jobs like flipping burgers, like parking cars, being a valet, that don't pay much, right? That ought to pay $10 an hour, $12 an hour, whatever. That's what it ought pay. Are having to pay more because there's a lot of competition in the job market, and these companies have to pay $25 or whatever it is for. I think here locally, you get hired on at McDonald's at like $18 an hour.
Yeah, that's the way it is here.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
But that's what they have to pay, which drives up cost of, which I don't mind, by the way. I think I'm loving fast food costing so much because less Americans are eating it, more
Yeah,
people are
Yeah,
being
that's
healthy.
good.
That's a good point.
I prefer to see that, right? Now,
But-
and I think this is where Sparky is coming from, is those are gateway jobs. They're not meant to feed a family of four. They're not meant to be the job that you have when you step out of college, except for the summer between, when you get out of college and you start your internship or your, whatever the fuck you do, because you just spent 4 years learning how to be fucking excellent.
Or it could be a
I understand
secondary
his
job.
point.
That's kind of where I'm at. So it's not meant to be the prime means of you
Yeah.
gaining.
And I agree with.
We have a severe issue in America with a lack of skilled tradespeople because people don't want to be plumbers. People don't want to be HVAC workers. Who wants to be a carpenter?
They do. They just want to get paid.
Well,
Yeah,
the
so
thing is,
if I can,
That's
if I
the
can,
problem
if you-
that ties
I
back
want to
into
point something
immigration.
out. Back when I was in high school in the mid 2000s, I was being told, not by my mom because she didn't really do any of this kind of stuff with me. I was being told by people who worked in the school system that the only way to get a good paying job is to go to college. They were
Yes.
pushing people
Or the
into
military.
college or the military, yes.
Yep.
They were pushing people into college consistently and paying almost no attention to the trades. And now here we are 20 years later feeling the pain of that. I'm not saying you're wrong on this point, Jason. We absolutely do need more tradespeople. We need more people to go into the trades. We also need to find ways to give them that ability because student loans and the things that actually get you through college and all that shit are only for college. Like if we gave them assistance getting into trade schools, getting into apprenticeships, and
don't do
All that
anything.
exists.
So let me tell you something.
We need
schools
trade
don't do anything.
programs in the high schools again.
trade
schools don't do
programs.
anything. So I'll tell you this right off the bat. Anyone that goes to a trade school is a fool and a sucker because someone will hire you as an apprentice, and through the apprenticeship, which gets you your state licensing, it requires them to send you through schooling. If you go through a trade school before you become an apprentice, all that time in the courses mean absolutely nothing. So while you are
It depends on
learning
the
your
job,
trade,
but yeah.
Well, no. For licensing, no. It is a racket. It is literally a racket. So Fat
don't
Electrician
disagree with
actually
you
put out
there.
a.
Hold on, trade jobs suck. You work 60 to 80 hours a week. You have to travel
What the
across
fuck are
the
you
country.
talking about,
Trade
dude?
jobs suck.
You don't even work.
My trade job. I have a college degree. I work from home.
I have a college degree
I work
too.
from home.
Trade
I think he
jobs
just
suck.
made his
I'm a
point.
college dropout.
play
I
video
don't
games.
work from home.
I am also a college dropout.
I
Yeah,
literally work
exactly.
from home because I have an awesome job. Trade jobs blow dick. My whole family's pipe fitters, dude. I'm telling you, they fucking suck. They work 60 to 80 hours a week. They have to travel all over the fucking United States. No one wants to do it. And a big problem is because they're unionized. There's no competition. There's
Yeah, that's a problem too.
States that literally prevent you from hiring anybody else, that you have to be unionized. You have to pay into that union.
Democrat.
Yeah, that's
Democrat,
bullshit.
And that's why it costs so fucking. Yeah, it costs so fucking much
But
because unions
hire
lazy people, let them get away with all sorts of shit.
So, first of all,
Mhm.
I want to say Pentuple, don't snipe from chat. Be a man. Grab the link. It's
Get your ass
pinned.
on here.
Come on and
Yeah, get up
come
here,
on
pussy.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
just
you
pussy.
Yeah, he's just.
He probably just rolled out of bed again.
He probably did. Second thing is, I think that a lot, much like our communist friend down here, I too was told to go to college, and I paid my way through college, and it was the worst investment I've ever made.
Mhm.
I got nothing out of it. I ended up, basically suffering through a lot of on-the-job training to become, what I ended up becoming, and it worked out for me. But not everybody has my mentality, my whatever, right?
Gumption.
Yeah, nobody has it. So, because I'm old, and so I lived back when we had to drink out of the hoses and shit. So
Yeah,
I
I love that taste, by the way.
Oh yeah,
The
hose
tap
water
water
was
tastes,
the
yeah.
best water.
No, it wasn't. That's horrible water to drink.
Dude,
in
my
a
mom
water.
used to,
I
my
mean,
mom used to
situation.
lock us outside.
I
dude. There was
just
8
I
kids in
have
the
Because
I
of
have
cancer,
fond
bro.
memories of drinking out of those hoses.
Yeah, obviously
nostalgia.
Texas needs to learn some things, but
Yeah.
but I agree with look, both sides here have solid points, right? Like, yes, I agree with the communists that we did allow kids were made fun of if they went in as a forklift operator. Like, my youngest brother, now deceased, I remember the day that he went to. He's like, you know what? I'm going to go get my forklift operator's license. It will pay me $5 more an hour once I get my operator's permit than me just lumping, whatever around the warehouse. And so he did, and he got that money. But that opened up other jobs where you had to have X permit and Y permit. You had to have all of these things to go work in these various warehouses or facilities. And he ended up becoming a raging alcoholic and dying of alcoholism. But I don't blame that on the trades. And I think that had he not been discouraged so much early in life, I think he would have done even better.
Well, so when
Now
I look
forklift
at
operators get motion,
Nothing.
man.
yeah,
They get bitches. So.
They get bitches. Well, they can give them a ride.
I'll tell you right now, Tyler with his work from home job, with his college degree, he makes less than the programmer who mostly works from home and just has all of his certifications.
I'm a programmer.
Yeah, I guarantee you the
Mr.
programmer
Patel's
without the degree
coming for your
probably makes
job,
more
dude.
than you.
Tyler, you at least make more than $25 an hour, I would assume. That's okay.
Well, that's only because he works
Well, you're
3 hours
probably-
a day.
But
You're probably the guy cleaning up. You're probably the janitor. You're probably cleaning up after all these H-1B
I get paid.
shit.
I get paid salary.
These
He gets paid
Indians
his
that
salary. He works
these
3
Indians
hours
that
a
don't
day.
put on deodorant. Yeah.
3 hours a day
Cleaning
is
it.
pretty. Hey,
Archie,
what?
tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm
In-
right. You
in my
have to
job-
go clean up after shitty code from all these Indian H-1Bs.
Yeah,
don't
and when
you?
you walk past them, they have no deodorant. You just smell them.
He
You
knows.
walk by.
He knows. He knows I'm right.
He knows. Yeah.
All right, while we're on comedy break, everyone, there's a link pinned or scrolling across your screen. That link is to the annual streamer awards. I am up for an award as most educational.
Great, that
Please-
shit is way too long. Get a fucking short link.
Can
my
you
dude.
throw it in the chat?
Yeah,
It's right there.
No
It's
one
in the
can
chat right
no
now.
one can read that whole ass thing and type it into their.
Yeah. I'm
their
sorry.
part. Get it
But the
shortly.
link is posted.
Yeah, we can't.
Please
Nobody on
go
this panel can read.
Click the vote.
Yeah, I can't read.
Well, I mean, I know,
Reading, what's
I know
that?
Jake can read 3 words.
About so the is a. That's about it.
I don't. Well,
Here, I
mean,
voted for you.
Postmaster General's exam. Yeah, please go vote often.
Vote early, vote
Ready,
often.
get out and register. And
Since we're at a good breaking point, I'm gonna dip. Y'all have a good one.
Man, you've been.
Appreciate you coming through, buddy. Look,
Yeah.
I,
I'm always good for the nerdy sci-fi debates. The political debates I'm less good on, but I'll have a conversation with anyone about that shit anytime they want.
the Empire was objectively the good guys.
Okay, so really quickly, Ancom, I would love to have a nerd discussion with you. That's for damn sure. But I do want to pick your brain about communism. That's for damn sure because I have
be happy to.
Easily disagree with you on that stuff. So
that's perfectly fine. The name you see here is the name I use everywhere. Discord, Blue Sky. That's really the only 2 places
Blue
I
Sky. That's gay.
Yeah,
That's gay. That's how I know you're gay. You're on Blue Sky.
I mean,
you seem like an
if the shoe fits.
You seem like an ex guy. You're engaging with the opposite side. You're not pigeonholed into.
You're not a.
Blue guy.
I think my Twitter account does still exist. I haven't logged in there in ages.
But Nacho, we have people here who do not engage with the other side, and I'm not talking about Ancom. You.
Me?
Yes, I was actually banned from your chat for throwing out alternative ideas because your mods are soft.
I was going to say Jake.
Okay, I didn't even know that. I did not even know that, my friend.
Jason is banned from a lot of places.
I did not know that at all, bro.
Yeah,
So.
Anyways, y'all have a good night. Like I said, feel free to hit me up if you ever want to have a talk. I'm happy to have that talk.
Yeah, we will do Nerd Wars round 3 at some point, but we'll do it with a little bit more promotion. And we'll give it at least a week's notice next time.
Sounds good.
Talk to you later. Just literally, Tyler hit me up and he's like, "Let's do Nerd Wars." I'm like,
"It was in question form. It was in question form."
Hey, look,
Nerd Wars. Question.
It just wasn't executed properly. That's all it is. That's all it is, man. So but no. So in my job, I'm actually required to have a degree because I have to teach other people the trades. I have 2. I am a craftsman, just above journeyman level, a skill in 2 separate trades. One is electrical and avionics, and the other one is non-destructive inspection. And I teach people how to build and maintain jet engines. So,
are you an IA?
No, I am not an IA. Since I work for the government, I only work on military aircraft, so I'm not required to have an AMP. I could test for it. I could test for it with my with all my time and everything, and even get my QAI license and everything. I'm
going to change the panel in my Long Easy, and it has to be the avionics have to be, even though it's a non-certified airplane, so everything has to be tagged.
Here's what you do. You actually have someone who is skilled to perform the work. Then you have an AMP come behind and inspect them. Okay. And then you have your IA come through and inspect that. You don't have to have the work done by an AMP. It has to be certified by an AMP. I
got all of that. The radios themselves have to be certified for IFR.
Yeah, but that's
so I have to have an instrument shop do that. And you just said that you do instruments. You're not going anywhere, Tyler. You stay. I don't hear your wife yelling at you.
We're gonna watch more Stranger Things.
Oh, gay.
Oh god,
no, he's doing
that
it with
shows
a
for
woman.
teenage girls.
Your wife is such a nice person.
And women.
Why do you do this
yeah,
to
at
her?
least he's married, dude.
Yeah,
I get it.
He's just spiritually gay. It's fine.
Spiritually gay, that's for sure. He does support Israel, so
his wife is so nice. Though.
Wait, how are you? Wait, he's a shit lib and an Israel supporter,
and an Israel supporter. Yeah, I destroyed him.
Dude.
I destroyed him in Nashville on this subject, but yeah,
I voted for Trump.
Didn't, but
yeah, I mean, that's a good thing though. That's a good thing.
I voted for Trump and Kemp, so I'm.
He's learning. He'll be on our side one day, Nacho. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he'll come around.
He'll come around.
He's 90% there.
We just need him to become more of a nationalist. I need him to become a nationalist.
There you go. We can all be white nationalists. I'm fine with that. Fucking, I'm not even white.
The whole reason that Tyler and I know each other is because he wanted to debate me on interventionalism versus non-interventionalism. I'm a non-interventionist. I believe we stay the fuck. We have borders for a damn reason, son.
Right.
Oh, so Tyler's an interventionist. See, I'm like somewhere in the middle. I think there's purpose to intervene. I just don't think that the current wars have got us much, and that pisses me off.
Well, the 70 years
when Israel, woo, Ukraine and Israel.
7 years in the sandbox.
Ooh, BB. Ooh, BB.
Shit. That's actually I don't care about Israel at all. All I care about is we've spent 70 years since 19. Well,
I just want to get more out of it, dude. Like we're getting
65
bent over.
40 something. We've been in the sandbox, and we've gotten nothing out of it.
It's because we've allowed the Arabs to control all that stuff when we should have just kind of wiped them softly off the earth and just taken the space.
That's that's my kind of like position on intervention. It's just like, well, first of all, if we're going to do it, let's do it properly.
And own the land. Like,
we should exactly. You're gonna be a territory, and you're gonna pay us taxes.
Yeah, right.
You are now part of the
Puerto Rico version.
Yeah, welcome to the empire.
Nacho, wouldn't it be appropriate for us to push our religion over there in the Middle East to kind of mitigate some of these situations here, rather than their Muslim religion, etc.? So this is another thing that I know is controversial, but we should be pushing Christianity over there in the Middle East, man. You know, that would mitigate a lot of the fucking problems that we have.
Hold on.
With them.
Do you believe in sovereignty?
Sure.
No.
You believe in sovereignty?
To a degree.
No. It's a yes or no. Do you believe? Does America have sovereignty?
Yeah, America does.
Does other countries deserve sovereignty?
They deserve sovereignty, I guess, depending on how the situation is.
Okay, so the reason why I say that is because over there they have laws, they have apostasy laws and things like that. So if you believe in sovereignty, then you're violating a principle that you believe in.
Unless we conquer them.
Yeah, that's the difference. Because America's been conquering lands for fucking.
I don't believe in that.
America does not conquer lands, and that's actually the problem.
That's the problem.
If America actually engaged in like legitimate colonialism, which was based,
Now
we'd be
we're
fine.
on the same
But
page.
we don't.
So you wouldn't have a problem with us pushing our religion over there in the Middle East, then, correct?
Simply just pushing religion, I have a huge problem with. If we're going to actually conquer the land, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
So both. Right. Yeah, it would be both and.
You can't do just one. You have to do them both.
Right.
So, well,
I think you could do one or the other.
I don't believe in like some universal sovereignty or some universal. There are no such thing as like human rights. There's just force. I mean,
that is true.
If they can't defend their ideas and their borders, then they become a territory of the United States Empire.
I've got people who cannot defend their own viewpoints. It happens all the time. The deal is they have laws. If you think that sovereignty exists,
but Jason,
you respect sovereignty of other countries.
Well, hold on. What would be the actual problem of pushing on Christianity that's better than?
Because you would be violating. I have no problem with it myself.
Yeah, but what's the actual problem though? Outside of violation of these fake rights, that only exist within our minds. What?
I think he was trying to say if you hold those positions, then it's contradictory. But
sure.
Do.
And I'm just saying. Depending on the situation within the Middle East, I would say, we should be pushing our religion over there because it would mitigate.
We have to conquer it because otherwise
you have to conquer
they have laws in place,
and you have to follow those laws.
We should respect their laws.
Okay, fair enough.
People to respect our laws. If you believe in sovereignty, then we will have to conquer those lands.
People have to
conquer Israel and push.
Wait. But people don't respect our. Wait, people don't respect our laws because they respect the law, like the context of the law itself, like. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They don't give a shit about that. They respect our laws because we have bigger guns. That's it.
We'll put you in
look,
that's it. We'll kill you.
But people
that's why they respect our laws
because we don't enforce.
Good point,
our
Nacho.
laws.
So we don't have to respect their laws because they have smaller guns and smaller weapons and smaller militaries. They can't do anything.
I get Jason's point, and I agree. It's a valid point.
We should probably, but we don't have to. Is what I'm saying.
So I agree that yes, okay. all those little countries in the sandbox, they all have sovereignty. They're all sovereign nations, and we should respect that. Except that we've been fighting over there for 70-something years.
Well, exactly.
And every time we win,
it hasn't worked.
Every time we win, we go
hasn't
in.
Worked.
We send Americans over to reconstruct the country.
Well,
right? We send our engineers, we send our scientists, we send all of that over there.
Where the problem
we built them a fucking we literally built the oil industry.
Yes.
In
And
Iran, Iraq.
Can't do it.
And they can they can barely even maintain it.
Exactly.
They don't have the IQ to
Jason,
handle it.
And
Jason,
the problem, so Jake, you would be right. You are right in context, but the problem is we gave them that shit back, and we shouldn't have. We should have said no.
Yeah.
This is Puerto Rico V2, and this is now American soil, and it's going to be governed by the Constitution of the United States of America. And fuck all y'all, if you don't care, you can go to the other side of the sandbox, and we'll be there shortly. Don't worry.
Yeah, correct.
So here is so from a former war fighter, if when we were doing the shit, when we went into Afghanistan, I said that Afghanistan should have an American flag over it, and we should rule with an iron fist. When we went into Iraq, I was part of the invasion force. I said that we should put an American flag in Baghdad, and we should rule with an iron fist and never fucking let it go.
Right.
But what we actually did is we sold our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines as mercenaries. The Saudis, the royal Saudis, were paying for every person deployed in the Middle East during Southern Watch. For every American soldier, sailor, airman, Marine in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, it was $100 a day. The United States government was being paid. We were a de facto defense force for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Now we're talking about a bunch of cousin fuckers and goat fuckers who will not do a damn thing for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they literally import slaves to do everything because they can't do it themselves. Now, I am all about, if you want to actually go and conquer people, sure. However, if you're going to play the sovereignty game, which is something we do as Americans because we believe in American sovereignty, then we have to respect the sovereignty of these foreign countries as well. So you have a contradictory opinion.
Jason,
position, and that's why I say you have to conquer them.
This is what I was talking to the other guys about, the difference in cultures. This is where the difference in culture makes a difference because per se in like Europe after the World War, we have military bases all across Europe. We basically defend, we are the army for NATO essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're the military enforcement for most of the European countries. If we were to pull out, they would have to dump loads of money into their defense to like make up for that. So, but we can do the same. We can do the same thing with them because they are like they have a different identity, a different culture, a different So they're closer to us. They can actually they can run their countries. They had a country
in South Korea as well.
They had a country before. The difference is these are nomadic tribes who were just grouped together. And just lumped together because they had to at some point. And then, like you're saying, in order to form the oil like dynasties and shit like that, they formed together. But then, exactly like you're saying, now they just import slaves and all these other people to like maintain it because they can barely keep the thing running. So anytime we try to like reset the government and hit the button and say, okay, we're going to install these people. We're going to show you how to do the thing, blah, 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 blah. And then some other faction comes in and fucking overthrows this one, or they sell each other out, or there's like infighting in the royal families and they split up and then it's all back to shit again.
Now, something that Jake will disagree with, but there's a reason why they say that they are the closest ally. And I will tell you, they're not an ally. They're a strategic partner. But the reason why Israel is quote unquote so important to America is because culturally they're probably the closest to American that you will find in that region.
In the Middle East. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Where you would say, we should conquer Israel on 7 countries at once.
Well,
it didn't work out all that well. And they did it without American assistance, by the way. Hate to break that to you.
Who
they
did?
did that shit?
Did what?
The Israelis defending themselves without any help. They literally defended
themselves.
Hold on. They've been getting funding. They've been getting funding from the United States since 1965, bro.
Since their inception.
Yes. What happened in 48, buddy?
Yeah, I get you. In 48,
Okay,
yeah,
what
the
happened
land
in
was given.
67?
The land was given to them. I get
What
you.
happened? Yes, it was given to them. It was
Yeah,
given
in
to them. And you know
67
what
they
were
bombed.
given?
They
almost
bombed
got
our ships in
obliterated.
67. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They.
Yeah,
Have you ever?
it was a
have you ever
mistake. I got it.
But no, I'm
but-
not defending that.
Wait,
No,
are
see,
you saying
you're
they fought the
misunderstanding
five front war but on their
Yes.
own? Because they did not. No,
They did. They absolutely.
we saved
did.
their asses. What
No,
do you
we
mean?
didn't. In 1948, no one saved their ass. Literally,
In
no one.
1948, there wasn't any states there. There wasn't any, but nobody was organized then. The Middle
Are
East
you
was
insane?
in
Yeah,
was in
the Middle-
shambles.
No,
it was run by most of it was run by proxy.
Well,
like it
so
was by the
Brits-
United Kingdom and the Brits.
So
yeah,
the Brits and the French are the ones
they
that most
gave them the
controlled those areas.
territory.
When they gave all that territory up to the Arabs immediately went to attack the Jewish state, and the Jewish state defended itself without any help from outside intervention in 1948. In 1967, they were essentially fighting with a little bit of assistance from the French, and that was only through weapons deals. In
They've had a lot of help through their
Dude,
history.
they had help from the United States as well.
Well,
what?
no,
what are you
they
ta-
didn't.
Yes, they
didn't.
did.
Bro,
Yes, they. Bro, again, United States was
have
there.
you even been out of the country, my guy?
Have I
even
been
know
out
how
of the
to
country?
vote?
Yeah, I've been to
Are we
Mexico,
doing this?
fucker. Yeah, I've been to Mexico.
Oh.
I've been out of the country. Yeah, I've been out of the
Mazel tov.
country to answer your question. Yes.
We both
What does it
went to,
fucking
we
matter?
went to the Wailing Wall together, dude, and
Oh,
humped
that's
it.
awesome.
There
All
you
right.
go. I'll go to the wall. I'll kiss it for you if you want me to
We
do
put
that.
on
But
the-
it's not going
we
to change
put
my
on the
fucking
small
opinion.
hats.
I actually don't care about any of that. But
Okay.
Then why'd
the
you ask
deal
the
is,
question?
if you don't know how the cultures are there, if you don't know how things are there, most of the things that you say is bullshit, especially when it comes to this topic. You're woefully ignorant, and that's okay. I have no issues with that. But my God, you put out more misinformation than Dylan Burns talking about fucking Ukraine. Okay, you like to write fucking fantasy novels, and I find it to be hilarious. You're woefully undereducated on it, and that's fine.
Okay.
But someone has to tell you that because
Yeah, I guess so, man. I guess so.
But the way things work in the world, the way things work, especially with multicultural societies, especially with when you have military assistance coming from all these different areas, you really don't know what you're talking about. Okay,
Yeah, but how about
United
you just
States government
explain it
didn't
rather
help
than
people.
just because you're kind of just saying like you
Yeah,
just don't know anything. But you're not
just saying
explaining
shit.
anything really.
It's
You're
more
just
fun to
saying
tell you you're
shit.
stupid first because this is from my
Okay, fine then.
understanding now.
Okay, I get the point. Jake,
okay.
you're dumb. You don't know nothing. Now get to your point. bro.
Okay, so the U.S. military,
Yeah.
there was no military assistance for Israel until around 1968. When you talk about the USS Liberty attack, yes, we were sharing some intelligence, but that's not really military.
Yeah,
assistance.
we've been giving them
We talk
aid
about-
since 1949, dude. A year after their inception.
Okay, thank
What are
you. I
talking
said
about?
65. I guess I was
thought
wrong.
it was right
No,
from
it-
their. I thought it was
So
I
right
was
from
thinking
1948.
We didn't
Yeah.
start giving actually defensive aid till around 68. The rest of the time, that was
$122
just
million
money.
a year is still a good chunk
That's
of money
money.
for Israel.
And back in 19 what
Yeah,
was it,
now-
Nacho?
now we give-
1940s,
now we give
1950s?
about
yeah,
3.5
1949. That's a lot of
and now
fucking
we give
money.
about
Yeah, that's a lot of
3.5
fucking money
billion.
at that time.
Now, I would argue against all foreign aid to everybody because that's just me. Because I look at our crumbling infrastructure and I say,
All right,
then-
but the point
but
is, you're
because
like,
you made
they did it all
but-
by themselves.
Yeah,
Like,
you
no, they
made the
didn't.
argument on that, and then you admit
what
that
arms did
the
we
United States
deliver?
was giving
What
them
arms
$22
did we-
million.
who cares
What,
about
you think they're not buying weapons
Who
with the
cares?
millions,
That's aid,
hundreds
bro.
of millions of dollars?
That's help
It-
from the United States. You said that
Dude,
they did it all on their own,
We
and then
spent
now
more
we
than
have.
$22 million a day for the U.S. Navy.
That's not the
during
point.
World
What do you
War
think they're
Bro.
spending the money on? If you get $122 million,
Did we
you
give them
can
arms?
buy guns with
II. When
it.
did we start giving them arms?
Holy shit!
It does.
I
That's
thought-
not relevant. You're
It
saying
actually
they didn't
is
have any
relevant.
assistance from us at all.
All right.
Yes,
I thought
when I'm
I thought I was the
talking about
retard
against
here. Let
warring-
me get another
when
beer because I'm the
talking about
retard.
warring-
Do we
yes,
need?
when I'm talking about warring factions, yes, money
Do,
doesn't
do we
shit.
need?
You have
do
to
you
give.
need?
You have to give.
Yes, it does. You
military-
can buy
have to give
weapons.
How
You
long does
can't
it
buy
take to-
weapons with hundreds of
how
millions
long-
of
How long
dollars.
How long does it take to get weapons delivered?
You guys are
Does
you
it-
guys are cracking me up right now. Hey, Jake, where you at?
He's
Oh,
going to get
he-
a beer. He said.
We went to go get a
Oh.
beer.
All right.
But
Well, I'm
no,
going to take this break in the action to say go. I just see some new people in the chat. Go over. There's a link posted in the chat. Go vote for me in the streamer awards. Vote proudly. Vote often. And we can't let that
Vote as much as
machine
you
lies guy. We can't let that machine guys lie.
Machine. Yeah, he's actually close with you. You're still winning
Yeah.
by 2%, by the way.
Yeah, he is.
I just voted.
Yeah, I voted for you.
I
we
don't
need-
know who the Machine Lies guy is, but
He's a Muslim. dirty Muslim.
He's an idiot that is not
Muzzy shouldn't win
educational.
anything.
Hey, I'm
Muzzy
gonna
should never win
Jake.
anything.
This is what you missed out on since you missed range day.
Damn,
Dude, I
fucking
missed that too. I wanted to go.
great as John Wick right now.
I know.
That was a slick reload. I will say. Did you even catch that reload?
Mhm.
That's sick.
No, that was.
Nice.
That's
I
pretty
actually
sick.
like the movement. The movement was pretty good, pretty solid. Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
I like it. But when we started actually delivering arms, that happened around 68. Now you can give money and you can have all the money you want, but it's still very hard to transport arms. It really is. And it
Not if you got
doesn't-
hundreds of millions of dollars. You can buy
Dude.
it from Russia. You can buy it from any neighboring country that you want if you have the money.
So the deal is they didn't have neighboring countries that they could purchase from. You do realize that, right?
Somebody
Listen.
will bring you weapons. If you have hundreds of
How
millions
long
of
does it-
dollars, you can
how
get
long does it
weapons,
take?
man.
That's part
How long does it
Come
take?
on, dude.
How long
Yeah, they
does
did it by
take-
themselves,
If you got
Nacho.
pallets of cash, man, you're
How
getting
long does it
guns,
take
dude.
for a boat from France to Tel Aviv? How long does that take?
They've bought weapons
How
from
long
Russia
does it-
too.
Well, in what
No,
time
they
frame
didn't.
here are we talking about here?
We're talking about in the
48?
They have, yeah.
Talk about in the 40s. They were buying them primarily from France. How long does that take?
Well, you tell me. What
Does
is
that
it?
matter?
Yes, it does matter.
They didn't
because-
fight the
that's-
five front. They
what,
didn't
a
fight the
month,
five
2
front
months,
war
a
in
year?
1949.
How long did it take, bro? A year? What is it?
Oh no, for them to
No?
just travel by boat
Yeah.
from
What is
France,
it?
we'll say that they originated on the Mediterranean side.
Can you just answer the
Okay.
question? How long?
I
Because
am
you're
getting
questioning
there.
us on that. Just
Okay,
give us the answer.
it'll take a week and a half.
Okay,
starting
great.
from
Thank you. A week
Mediterranean
and a half.
Why did you
Okay.
make it- you made it
Damn.
seem like- why did you ask
you
it like
start
it
You
was
made
going to
it
be
sound like
like
it was like
2.5
months and shit.
years, bro? Like
Dude.
you're going to walk
on the
them down on
Atlantic side, it
camelback.
takes 3 weeks. Okay, that's not including loading the ship, purchasing.
So what's the point?
Everything
What?
else. We are talking about it just to, let's say, on the most efficient logistics train in that time. It is 3 months from when you place the order, if they have all the weapons ready, built in every package before it even starts to head that way. Okay, you have to consider the logistical supply chain that existed in
Okay.
that time.
So how much of the weaponry that they had when they were defending themselves with, our taxpayer money and stuff?
I
Like,
mean,
like how much did they have when they were defending themselves in
the moment that
1948?
the moment that Israel was declared a free state, they were immediately attacked.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah,
how
but
much
they were
weaponry?
attacked by random nomads and tribes. What you're
Yeah.
talking about defending
They're
themselves
Indians,
from 5 countries was later on, and we helped them with that. We saved their asses. We negotiated the
saved
treaties with
We saved
Egypt,
Egypt.
and we didn't save Egypt.
took the entire Sinai
we
Peninsula.
currently pay Egypt so that they don't invade Israel. We give both of them money so that they
Yes,
don't fight each other.
We also fund Hamas too.
God.
That's part of the problem. with
Well,
the,
and Israel
I mean,
also supports
okay,
Hamas.
yeah, that's also shitty.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
They also
like,
support Qatar.
Well, you
funding
can't
Hamas.
frame that like it's like dude, they were going to get destroyed by all 5 of those countries at the same time. All right,
Well,
we came in and
wars
negotiated
occurred.
the peace.
the 3 separate wars that have occurred, it turns out Arabs can't do shit.
Yeah, so
culturally, their
then
problem
they
is
can wait a
there's
week and
no
a half to get
coordination.
some weapons and kill them. Yeah,
If
exactly.
we continue,
So,
yes,
like-
if we continue
So
supplying them with the most advanced military technology
Exactly.
on the planet,
How long was
yes,
the war-
the
how
Arabs
long
can't
was
do
the war in
shit. But
67?
once they run out of missiles to reload the fucking Iron Dome and all that shit, yes, Iran can just pelt them until it's depleted and then
Well,
destroy everything.
So the war in 67 lasted a total of 7 days. They took the cyanide within 1.5. Okay. I
So
hate
what
to break
weapons
this
did they
to you.
use in order to take them out then?
During the
Our
during
shit.
67, no, they were using French Mirages.
Okay, but it took a week and a half, but you said it was done in 7 days. So
Yes.
what weapons did they use if
They had French Mirages that they previously purchased.
okay,
In fact,
previously before
when that
okay.
war started,
So,
when that
yeah.
war started, the French actually did a immediate boycott of
Yeah.
all arms sales.
But
to
my
Israel.
point back in 1948, these Arab countries were dude, they were Flintstones, like literally Fred Flintstone
They
fighting.
still are.
They're like throwing
They still
rocks
are
and shit.
well to a higher degree now, right? They're
No,
like
they
World
still
War
throw
II
rocks
type.
at tanks.
My point being is that they're not much of a threat, especially when Israel has the backing up of other countries here. That's the point.
And
They didn't kill them on their own. They did not take that out on their own on your claim earlier. That's my
Well,
point.
how many
here.
U.S.
It's
troops?
Nacho's
How
point.
many U.S. troops?
you
fought?
gotta kind of make some allowances for the inbreeding on the Islamic side.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, of course.
Even if they
Not
have
very bright.
the weapons, they're
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
hey
true.
guys,
sending everything
it's getting to
down
be
range.
11 o'clock at night, and that's
Yeah, I need to
that's
go.
why
I need to
quit.
go to sleep, guys. Yeah,
Yeah, I heard you had a tough day, 13 hours.
13 hours, bro. Yeah, I'm
Well,
pretty
it's
tired.
Christmas season. You male guys get
were
to,
you working, traveling, everything?
He's a
Oh,
post.
you work for the post?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, dude. I
Doesn't
was
he
out
look
late.
like Kevin Costner in The Postman?
True.
A Mexican.
Mexican
Mexican
Kevin.
Kevin Costner.
Hey, dude, look.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Look, you do a job I would not be interested in doing. Are you a carrier?
I'm a carrier. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah, yeah.
carrier.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, God bless you guys.
I love my job, by the way. I don't
Yeah.
diss on it or anything like that. I love my job.
honestly,
But
everyone I know who works for the
I
post,
guessed what he
post
did
system,
like
you know,
that.
They actually love their job. They really do.
yeah,
Where
the people
I
are
work,
great.
most people hate their job because working for the Department of Defense sucks.
But I will tell you this, Jason, it is still a low skill job as a
Yeah,
mail carrier.
that's fine.
Like you don't need an education, any of that
Well,
shit. But we get paid very well. You know.
no, you do get paid very well.
But do you think that we should get paid like McDonald's workers that are oh so low skill jobs?
No,
like,
because it's
why
actually
not?
a career.
Yeah, but we're kind of, you don't need to be a fucking genius to fucking have a career
Yes,
similar.
you do have to read.
It's also an infrastructure job too. I mean,
Yeah, you
Well,
have
I'm
to-
just
that's kind of
read.
necessary.
That
just
was
have
something
to
that I
pass
want to
the
ask you,
background
Jason,
check.
about that. I'm
you
just
have to
saying.
pass the exam. So I would argue that you should be paid a livable wage, but you actually have to have certification stuff to take your job. You have to pass the postal exam.
Yeah.
You also have to be able to understand the law that governs your job, and also the
Yeah,
post
pass
office.
background check.
The post
Yeah, and a
office
background.
is also self-sustaining, so y'all can determine your own salaries. However, I would argue, beyond the shadow of a doubt,
Mhm.
that you should probably get paid less than someone who does what I do.
Yeah,
Now,
I agree.
And-
Which we
and I
are,
don't think there's
by the
anything-
way.
I don't think there's anything wrong with unskilled people being paid livable wages if it is an actual career type job.
Yeah.
If you are a part-time worker at fucking McDonald's, I don't apologize. You
What
don't
about a
deserve
full-time
to-
worker?
Yeah,
at
if
McDonald's?
your job
you're a
is
full-time worker at
contributing
McDonald's,
to
you're a fucking
society,
loser.
yeah.
I mean, but
I got you.
yeah,
I
you
got
should
you.
get loser salary.
I got
Look,
you. I
the
agree with that.
manager. So I'm a friend. One of my buddies. He's a manager for a Domino's. He gets paid $17.50 a fucking hour, dude. That is horrible. And I asked him, why did you take that job? Because he's actually a skilled tradesman. He was an auto mechanic. He made more money as an auto mechanic, but he got burned out on his tools. I get that, but he's
Really?
also accepted
Dude,
the fact that he cannot live at the same level that he previously did because he accepted a job with lower pay.
a while back, I almost hopped to a Chick-fil-A, working at Chick-fil-A while I was in between auto shops
Mhm.
because I knew I was going to leave and I didn't have anything set up yet.
Yeah.
And I was looking around and I was like, dude, the fucking Chick-fil-A was hiring for like $19.50. I was like,
Guys,
I'm
you do
going
have to
to
realize
Chick-fil-A.
you do have to realize that because of COVID, a lot of those jobs, like the fast food places, they rise their pay
Yeah,
because of the COVID and stuff like that.
Yeah, we know.
So
That and the unemployment after they came back off of the like out of the shutdowns and shit, nobody would go back to work because all that,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
so
they
a
had
lot
to
of
like
these
compete with the unemployment checks that people were still getting.
yeah, so I think COVID has has something to do with a lot of those wages going up.
It
Joe,
does.
are you,
But
uh,
honestly, I would be more happy to see all the fast food restaurants fail. I think fast
Oh,
food
yeah.
is probably one of the biggest problems in America.
Except for Chick-fil-A, Brad. Chick-fil-A is not that bad.
Actually,
yeah,
no,
Chick-fil-A's
fuck
all right. We can
Chick-fil-A
keep
too.
Chick-fil-A, dude.
Yeah, they're
Nah,
Christian
come on,
too.
dude. We need the
Well,
the Lord's chicken, dude.
Look,
Yep.
I like the fact
I
that
saw
they're a
that
Christian
video today.
organization.
The Lord's
I
chicken.
really do. I like the fact that they have Christian values and things like that. Look, I live in Oklahoma.
Mhm.
Okay, Homa Hobby Lobby.
Yeah,
one of
everyone's
the
so
most Christian
respectable, too.
retailers, one of the largest Christian retailers in the fucking world.
Nice.
And I'm a Messianic Jew. I'm a Christian.
Mhm.
You know,
You're a Messianic Jew.
Yeah,
He's just messy.
He's
Yeah.
a messy Jew.
So
He's a
Messianic Jew-
Mason. He's a
Me-
Mason, dude. That's
So,
what
so
he is.
He's
basically, your
amazing.
first pope followed the religion I followed.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
Yeah.
getcha.
Peter was never a Catholic. He was just dubbed a Catholic by some Europeans and said,
I'm a
okay.
Protestant.
I'm not a
and
Catholic. I'm
Yeah.
Orthodox.
But I will say
Peter
I'm
was an Orthodox Christian.
I am trying to convert to Orthodox Christianity.
Yeah,
I'm
nothing
just
wrong
like
with
at
that,
the
man.
very beginning of my journey.
I like the Orthodox religion. I really do.
Yeah.
I like most Christian religions. I just detest what is it, the Episcopal, all the rainbow flag.
Everybody does, yeah.
They're not
Episcopalians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For
Episcopal,
me, it's the Lutherans.
Lutherans big on that.
It's a
Methodist,
coffee shop in a church, man. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
but
Really, they have coffee shops in the church?
Yeah.
that's
In
crazy.
Denver, I went to a Lutheran church. They have literally a coffee shop,
Wow. Did
where
not
they
know
sell coffee, like a Starbucks, in the lobby of the church.
That's crazy.
I was like, what the?
Yeah.
fuck
But
have
That's
I walked
crazy.
I didn't
into?
like the Roman Catholics. I like the Christian sects. I buy into.
I like Catholics, that's for sure.
Yeah, Catholics
it's
are all right.
It's the majority of the people that I live with.
They got to reject the Pope.
Yeah.
They got to lose
Yeah.
the Pope. But
I agree.
other than that, they're all right.
Well,
Yeah, Nacho, I didn't know. Are you an auto mechanic?
I manage an auto shop. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
He looks
what kind
like
of
he does.
What kind of cars?
everything, all mix and models.
Okay,
We're not
Like a-
scared
Are
of
you a dealership
nothing.
guy or are you a private guy?
like a
No, we're private. Yeah,
is it a chain or a?
no, we're independent. I mean, we got a couple shops. We're trying to open up a couple
Gotcha.
more. So,
Okay,
Nice.
that's good.
but yeah,
Look, God
That's
bless
what
you.
I
Good
retired.
Good work, man.
The
that's what I
evolving, the evolution of auto mechanics, dude.
It's getting crazy, dude.
Well, it's turning more into what the aviation world is, where it's a lot of just part swapping.
Well,
I'm not a big fan of. I miss the times when an engine mechanic for an aircraft could actually break into the engine and fix, change the
Oh, they
madness
still
and
yeah.
whatnot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Well,
we're still
so
doing
they
a lot
can't
of
at
that.
the level where I work. 'Cause I work
Right,
at a
right. Well, dude,
facility.
I literally,
Right.
I've been looking at airplanes, just not intending to buy another one, just looking.
I'm not intending
how
to
it
buy
all
another
starts.
one.
That's how it
But
all
I've been
That's how
looking,
it
and like
starts.
almost
That's what they
everyone
all
that
say.
came out of COVID, that was bought during COVID, almost every one of them have IRANs and not full overhauls.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
all that means is that you couldn't afford the airplane to start with, and
Yeah. Dude,
It
overhauls are so fucking expensive.
yeah,
And
Yeah, it
working
is.
in a depot facility, it really going from a flight line mentality, just working the airfields and everything, to going to depot has really changed my views on how maintenance should be done. The modern A&P mechanic cannot do a quarter of the things that an A&P mechanic could have done 30 years ago.
Mhm.
And it's
That's
because
probably true.
we are losing the knowledge to be able to conduct the skills. Like Nacho, I bet you have a guy that can work a transmission without a problem, but your whole shop can't, right?
Yeah, we don't touch it. We don't open them up anymore. We've got plenty of guys that could do it,
Mhm.
but the big problem with that is that it's just a fucking hairball. Plus, then once you start opening them up, then everybody wants to bring you transmission work. They're like, oh,
Mhm.
you rebuild theirs, you rebuild mine, do a rebuild, and then it's like that's all you get stuck with.
Yeah, I had one of the reasons I hated the service shop is I would get, and we got this in a lot, is we would get guys who had had a really nice car, and they would go to a shop that would have like a blown head gasket or whatever, and some shop would literally want to charge them almost $8,000 or $9,000 in some cases to replace a set of head gaskets on a front wheel drive car.
Mhm.
Maybe not quite that much, maybe like $5,000 or whatever. And a new and a replacement engine is less.
It's like $1,000 more or something.
Yeah, and I'm like, and I'd be like, we will never fucking sell anyone a damn head gasket job if we can sell them an engine
Well,
or any kind of internal engine failure, because the liability that we get into with doing that fucking head gasket job, and the fucking tortoise around our neck when when it needs inject.
Yeah,
the
you're
injector
fucking
seals the
married to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I will fucking marry that
Yeah,
guy.
and then you get in there, and then you're like, you're not going to do a shitty job, so you have the motor apart, and you're looking at all these fucking components, and you're like, yeah, you need this, you need this, you
Yeah.
need this, you need this, you
And the
need
guy
this.
thinks you're trying to pull one over on him.
Yeah, and then they think you're just trying to rail them, and you're like, well, no, but
Yeah.
it's like we're already
can't
here.
tell
You're
you
going to
how
be
many-
doing this in 20,000 miles.
That's right. I can't tell you how many engines I would sell because somebody would tell somebody, well, head gaskets on this, 3,800, fucking Lumina or Bonneville, or whatever the fuck, head gasket's going to be X amount of dollars, and they never go bad. I can't believe you blew a head gasket on a 3,800. But
We just tell them we don't do it. If it's over a certain mileage, we're just like, we're just not doing it. I'm sorry, but
There's too much liability.
We'll tell you, like, we'll diagnose and be like,
overperform.
this is what it is, and sorry, you're
my
either doing the
problem-
motor or we're not fixing this.
so I have a C230 and pardon me, it's a C320. I always reverse that. Anyway, my father-in-law backed it into a UPS truck.
Oof.
I don't know how. He just did.
That sucks.
Bent the exhaust and messed up the rear bumper a little bit.
What can Brown do? For
Exhaust, no problem. I sent it to one of my buddies that still owns a shop. I'm like, hey, just do this for me. And it's, so he gets the parts. Doesn't take any. I was shocked Mercedes had one in the country. But then I go to get it painted. And it's in the middle. It's kind of tail end of COVID. And every body shop has like a month or 2 month long backlog. All the body shops that I would use. So I'm like, I don't know. So I kid you not that by the time the body shop could get to it, my car was too old for them to work on. They're like, well, it's a 2014. They're like, yeah, we don't do body work or paint on anything 7 years or older. And I'm like, you gotta be shitting me.
That's fucked up.
And I missed it by like a couple, like a month, man. Like it was
There's a couple shops like that around us. It's like we're the only ones that work on anything older than, like, we'll go all the way back to, well, it has to be running and driving, but we'll work on, like, we had a truck in there from like the 50s, dude. We got
that's awesome.
We worked on like a 1955 Thunderbird, like a 67 Cadillac.
Well, you got to have a guy that knows distributors and shit. And points.
But
I used to be that.
But
guy.
there's no other shops around us. Most of the other shops around us are all like, if it's older than 10 or 15 years, they're not touching it.
Yeah,
which I don't blame them for, honestly.
But it could be a loss of knowledge too amongst.
It is a loss of knowledge. So I am back in 99 or 2000. I was the youngest person in the country that could properly diagnose, set up, and tune the mechanical fuel injection on the 935 Porsche. It's not hard. You just have to know which tools. You have to know how to do it. There's some geometry involved. There's some math. Mechanics don't like math. And so people just don't like it.
That's fair. I mean,
yeah.
So,
by the way, Grid, I really quick, I got to get going. Jason, really quick, Jason, just know I'm not, the way you describe me, like I'm not willing to go against other people that disagree with me. Not true. But I didn't know that you got banned off my chat. So
your mod showed me different. So that's
okay. But that's my mods. I'm a guy that has debated Destiny and stuff like that. I'm more than willing to go into the lines then. All right.
I
disagree with that, but okay.
88.
Yeah.
I disagree with it. But nevertheless, Grid, thanks a lot, man. I got work in the morning, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off here in a minute. I just want to.
Nacho, you're yawning, bro.
Yawning too.
Yeah,
dude.
All right, have a good night, guys.
They got to go play soccer in the morning too.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's gay. That's gay.
Hey, listen.
Hey, you're Mexican. It's your national.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
No, fuck that shit. I'm American football, not that fucking Mexican football.
We're playing football Sunday, so it's fine.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So gay one day, gay for the stay one day.
Yeah.
Back.
Listen, man.
Back to being straight.
I gotta embrace my Spaniard side.
Shut up, Andrew Tate, you gay guy.
Oh wow!
Andrew Tate.
Wow. That's
Yeah, let's
cool.
rehash that again.
Yeah.
Let's do
All
that
right.
again.
Good night, guys.
See you, man.
All right, later, dude.
Yeah.
Later.
So I was the youngest person in the country
That
that
was a
could
fun
set
night.
up this injection on the 935. I might be the last guy. And I still get calls from people like, "Hey, do you still do that?" And I'm like, I mean, I got the tools, but I'm not in any mindset to do it.
What year range are you talking about?
That's 1973,
The older ones?
1977.
We did one of those, I think.
Well, not a 935 was a specific race car.
Okay. Oh, you're talking about racing.
Yeah, Porsche race.
This was shit, man.
Mechanical
something
fuel
like that.
injection still kind of weird, but
But it was
these
it
guys
was
know how to do
funky.
it.
I remember we had to get a manual for it and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude.
Diesel guys get it because they a lot of diesel guys work on old diesels that are all mechanical, but and it's basically the same thing. But dude, it's just so interesting to try and set it up and understand how it works and everything. But people are just they are aging out, and it's not that people don't want to teach it; it's that nobody wants to learn it anymore.
Like right now, one of the biggest problems we have in aviation is like you got things like the DC-3 still flying, the old C-47, man, a beautiful fucking workhorse. I know 2 people out of the hundreds of thousands of people I've worked with that know how to work rotary recips. I mean, it's a dying technology.
Dan Greider knows.
Yeah. But it's one of those dying knowledges. It's just like people say, how did we land on the moon and not know how to do it? Well, it's because we didn't pass that knowledge on to the next generation.
Well,
the manuals exist, and that helps, but there's all of the hidden knowledge,
baby. Yeah, you gotta.
It's all of the the things that people learned by doing when they were new and cheap, and if you broke something, it wasn't like $1 million in 6 months to replace it.
Yeah.
And that's what that's really what you're fighting, right? Or what we're fighting a lot with even in like I'm sick of dealing with. So I have a Sonoray airplane, which is a VW powered, and the VW stuff's great. It's out there, it's available, all of that. I don't want to use these 1930 technology magnetos.
Yeah.
That are heavy, clunky. They have to be rebuilt every 500 hours. I'm like, why don't I just put electronic fuel injection on it, and now I never have to worry about it again? Why do I want a fucking carburetor on my airplane? And
just think of how much weight you're going to save by taking those heavy ass magnetos off. I'm going to tell you, it's not just a loss of knowledge. It's a distrust of anything that isn't approved by the FAA. You would think that I suggested outright rebellion and heresy by suggesting that I was going to get rid of the carburetor and go electronic fuel injection on my airplane. And they're like, well, what happens if it stops running? And I'm like, same things that happens when my carburetor stops working. That's what happens. But I'm gonna get out of here, guys. We'll talk about this another time, I'm sure. Nacho's falling asleep on me. We definitely don't want to passed out Nacho. Nacho's a great guy too. So hey, you take care of them children, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm gonna for the 10 people.
Yeah, it's good to catch you again, Sparky. I wasn't sure. I haven't talked to you in a minute. So
yeah. Well, I'm starting. I just rebranded Vox Populi 1788. I'm going to be doing call-in shows, talk about whatever the hell the people want to talk about. I'm also going to be doing a new debate series, the Stillman debate series. But all that's coming down the works. It's not all completely worked out, but yes, I will be streaming again. I miss this shit. I miss these great conversations. I miss giving people shit. So I'm back, motherfucker.
Well, I'm going to bed.
Same.
So I'm going to raid you guys. For the 8 people that are left, I'm going to raid you over to Rob Noor because he's still ranting and raving. And
is he in a panel?
I think he's over on Speakeasies.
Oh
nice.
God, that guy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Speakeasy, but that's all right.
I like people that pay their child support.
Oh, ow! Shots fired. Shots fired.
See, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, you don't want to know. Don't dive down that rabbit hole.
Don't
ruin it for me. I thought he was all right. I think he's all right.
Yeah. Don't dive down that rabbit hole.
Anyway,
Right,
well, we'll catch
everybody,
you guys.
Go have fun. go somewhere else. As always, be cool. Wear the glasses if you need them, and go stand on Rob Noah's lawn.